and every purchase is backed by their lifetime warranty and the company's owner. Anthony Imperato also gives his personal guarantee for 100% satisfaction. Now, make sure you go to their website, henryusa.com, order their free catalog. They'll send you free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog, free decals, and a list of dealers where you are. You're going to love this company and these firearms like I do.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Happy Monday with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls. Hey, you know him as Flounder. Get ready to rock and roll, baby.
Know the day I was born.
Yeah, it's Monday, all right. It's all good. Kind of chilly, kind of wintry. It's okay. Pete Davis, how are the mountains of Macon over the past weekend, sir?
I did a lot of Herkel-Dorkeling over the weekend.
Herkeling and Dorkeling together with, so is she back in town now, Mrs. Herkel, or it's her daughter Durkel?
It's a Scottish word.
Yes.
It means lounging in bed far past the time your butt should be up out of bed.
Yeah. Well, now, see, I look at Amanda. This girl is unbelievable. We got to go get some video. I mean, honestly,
I'm not going to follow the girl around with a video camera.
I should. I mean, we love Amanda. I love her. She's the El Comandante of our social media division, and she wears snow parkas inside.
She's skiing.
And when she goes out in the summertime, I remember in the summer, in the nice weather, be 60, 78, and she'd have a parka on.
I know.
That girl's unbelievable.
She's a California girl.
Anyway, so Farkling and Fergling, was that?
Herkel-Dorkeling.
Herkel-Dorkeling. All right, sir. I had no idea that was a thing. All right. Unfortunately, you only had like 2 football games to watch.
What are you talking about? There's 2 games Saturday and 2 games Sunday.
I know, instead of 9 on college days. In other words, the college season's over, so you only had 2 football games.
Well, there's other things to do in bed besides watch television.
God, well, I'm sorry I brought it up. I was trying to commiserate with you how you normally love to not be bothered and watch all your football games, but you didn't get to it, so I'm trying to throw you a bone to say, yeah, it's a shame. Forget it. Oh, my God. Let's go on to Flounder. Flounder, how was your weekend? You better have something nice to say.
Weekend was good.
Herkel-Dorkeling?
Same old. Hung out with Veronica. Went and, hung out with my dad. And went and grabbed some food at $3 Cafe and watched some football.
God, I haven't been to the $3 Cafe.
Wow.
And probably 30
There's
years.
one on the end of Far Road. Remember that one had the Ferris wheel?
Absolutely.
Okay. Who decided to put a Ferris wheel into a bar?
I know. Well, it's well, it's kind of like the story of Flounder. We were just talking about the story in Kansas City. 3 guys watching a Kansas City football game a couple of weeks ago, and they disappeared. And somebody did a welfare check. Three men in their 30s were at a friend's house watching the game, and then the friend, the game was over and the party ended and the friend went to bed, and then 2 days later somebody said, hey, where are the 3 guys who were at the house with you in the game? He said, I don't know. And somebody went outside and they were dead, frozen to death. 2 of them in the backyard, 1 on the back porch. Guys in their 30s dead from heat. They froze.
How worthless a life have you got to be leading to be in your 30s and no one notices you're gone for 2 days?
Yeah, and now they're saying, no, wait a minute.
You don't show up for work?
No, it's, I don't know. Anyway, but no foul play. They just,
They just froze to death.
Froze to death. Well, obviously they were drinking or something, and they froze to death.
Darwinism.
2 of them in the backyard and 1 in the back porch. Dead.
It's a good
30s.
start.
My God. 306, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? And our phone number is, by the way, I'm going to say something, and Flounder's going to react as you might suspect he would. I think it's a generational thing.
Right.
And it'll be fun about what I think is the most touching moment of my weekend. But this is what you have to look forward to. Was the
I'm watching it. I'm taking notes so I can avoid all these pitfalls that you are currently living in.
I can't wait to get to my car to have Christine sing to me. How about that?
That's number 1. Don't talk to my car.
The sweetest moment for me this weekend, which I have thought about and dwelled on and actually have had a whole philosophical discussion with myself, was the heart and the kiss.
Oh, so gay.
Well, that's not gay. Just say that you're romantic.
When he flashed that heart up there, and I love the fact
the same thing as Oh my God.
His own teammate slammed into him as soon as he did it.
That was oh my God. I can't believe that both of you bastards.
Pansy.
Oh, yeah, he's a real pansy.
He's an NFL player, and he's flashing he takes COVID shots. We know he's a pansy.
Oh, my God.
I got a double shot here.
We're not talking COVID. We're talking hearts and kisses to his lady. His lady fair, watching him perform for her, giving her total support for the man of her dreams, where she finally started to act like a girl. And they're having a romantic relationship, and he's not afraid to do it out loud. And he's not afraid to do it in front of everybody. And, honestly, that to me, I said, oh, my God. I saw that heart-shaped thing and blew her the kiss. And honestly, I was touched.
What would Dick Butkus do to him? What would Ray Nitschke do to him?
Sam Huff.
Yeah, what would any of those guys do? Chuck Bednarik.
Yeah. There's I know. But,
Come
again, on. Listen.
Bronco Nagurski.
Well, they used to play without face masks, too. I mean, it was a different time,
They leave their face on the
Heavyweight
sideline.
boxers used to go until one of them dropped. Gorgeous James Sullivan, whatever his freaking name was.
Gentleman Jim Corbett.
Gentleman Jim Corbett used to fight for 110 rounds.
I know.
Literally, bare-fisted, yeah. No gloves.
The bones sticking out of their hands.
100 rounds.
Yeah. Do you think he shot a little hard up there to his girl?
Well, guys,
his hands wouldn't form.
I would like to hear from the ladies. Here's our phone number, 404-741-1230.
That's a high school thing, man.
Oh, my God. 741-1230. I would like to hear from the ladies. Big-time monster football player scored. In fact, he scored 2 touchdowns, and he's about to.
Should have had another one.
That's right, and he's about to set a record.
Oh, yeah, I think he set the record.
Oh, you think he did?
Him and Mahomes
set the passing compilation of the 2 quarterbacks.
Who'd they pass?
I think it was the Niners. I think it was Montana. Oh, no. All right. Then it was Brady and the little guy who got caught in bed with the girl.
Guy.
Gronk.
Gronk. And before that, you're right. It was Montana and Rice.
And Jerry Rice. Yeah. Anyway, good for that. So anyway, but again, ladies, do you think that was stupid, corny, high schoolish, and chicken-livered and pansy-ish, like he's a little crybaby because he gave a heart and a kiss to his lady in the stands up in the box? And I thought, honest to God, this is, this was when you put it all out there. And he did athletically, and he did emotionally. And I think he ought to be saluted, and I was touched.
Did he toast her with a Bud Light afterwards?
Fine, keep it up. That's right. Attack the romance. Again, I'm a romantic. I would be
not on a football field.
Believe me, if I had found a true love and who all of a sudden turned everything around like that, and I had performed something, and she was in the stands watching me, you're damn right I would have done something.
You tug your ear like Carol Burnett?
I have done it. I've done it a lot.
Yeah, everyone in radio has said things at the end of the show. You got little secret asides to people. Yeah, everybody's done that.
No, I don't mean secret on the radio. I mean in front of doing speeches and crowd stuff and stuff like that.
What have you looked at him and done like hand gestures or something? I mean, what here's what you put.
You bump your fist up and down.
I'm stalking you. Does it work?
You bite your thumbnail and then you chick it off the end of your chin. Yeah, that's always a good one. Anyway, 311. And I'm serious, ladies. Is that stupid? Is there no romance? I guess it's dead. I guess it's all dead. Thank God. I will be before you guys because it's a shame. It's really I felt so wonderful over it, and then I realized it's a shame. I think those things are
I never saw a football player do that on the football field. Come on, man.
Okay, I'm fine. That's fine. And I think it might be. Well, you and I are closer to generation than Flounder and I are. Yeah. So I may not be a generational thing at all. It may just be that I'm
a manly thing.
I'm a pussy and a sissy and an emotional.
That's why you joined the Marines.
Tiny little girl.
Overcompensate.
Actually, that's true. Why do you think I started smoking when I was 9? Oh, you've got a girl's name. Oh yeah. Give me a lucky strike. I'll show you as a girl. I swear, I was a president of a swearing club when I was 10 years old. I mean, I got back at my parents for giving me a girl's name and hearing about it all year.
What do you do in a swearing club?
There was no, just
what
swear.
What is a swearing club?
I was teaching my friends how to swear. Oh, God, my parents caught me once on the phone. Oh, man. Never mind. So I'm telling stupid stories, actually. Anyway, 3:30. All right, we haven't even done anything. I'm sorry. It's Monday, and I just don't feel like working. But we have to, and so we got a million.
Big news.
Big news. Oh, we have you. We have news about Dexter King. Kind of a tragedy. In fact, I'll just tell you very quickly. He passed away at the age of 62 from prostate cancer.
Damn.
He was in California. The youngest son was 62 years old, named for the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Alabama, where his father served as pastor. Dexter King was 7 when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968. Anyway, also we got the judge on the Fulton County Floozy Fanny, and Donald Trump talks. Ron DeSantis, you'll hear talk as well. Also, you'll hear Nikki Haley talk. You'll hear Reese Witherspoon is telling people just go buy a freaking helmet and get off my back because she ate snow. Oh, my God. Also, we'll talk about Tay-Tay and Tony Romo and the booth and the people and Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Why did you take it down for the girls' bathroom? All's coming up with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3 right there.
The all-new Extra 106.3 app is loaded with conservative voices you want, including anytime replays of the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show. Plus, you have unlimited free access to Extra's live stream, so you can hear Atlanta's only conservative news talk station no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android and start streaming Atlanta news and talk the right way.
You hear us talk a lot about the great products that Howard Brothers sells and supports, but the best thing about Howard Brothers is their people. They have folks who've been there for 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, and they wake up every morning excited to get to work to serve you. It's personal relationships that they build with their customers. You can't go to a big box store and be personally known like you are by the folks at Howard Brothers. It's nice to know that you are supporting a locally family-owned business that does so much for their employees and their community. Happy New Year from our friends at Howard Brothers.
We don't just do foundation repairs. We set industry standards. Mark Beckham here, Atlanta Ram Jack. And while not all foundations are created equal, neither are foundation repair methods. That is why you should always turn to Atlanta Ram Jack for your foundation repair. We have 40 plus years of patents, innovations, and expertise, and we never recommend anything outside the scope of what you truly need. Simply put, we know how to get the job done right the first time. Book your free estimate at atlantaramjack.com today.
Blue-collar business owners, listen up. It's time to revolutionize your hiring process with the Blue Collar Recruiter. Finding the right talent for your blue-collar needs just got easier. We specialize in connecting you with skilled and dedicated workers so you can focus on growing your business. So say goodbye to recruitment headaches. Let the Blue Collar Recruiter save you time, effort, and deliver top-notch talent directly to your doorstep. Invest in your team's success with the Blue Collar Recruiter. Visit thebluecollarrecruiter.com or call 678-916-6145.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit and is designed to take you anywhere you want to go. Get yours today at Subaru of Gwinnett with 1.9% financing and discover the many reasons to love a 2024 Subaru Outback. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology for added safety. The convenience of available wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Tough, sophisticated styling and standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. This is your opportunity to get out there and go places in the 2024 Subaru Outback. Now available this month with incredible 1.9% financing at Subaru of Gwinnett. Adventure never looked so good. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Go to SubaruofGwinnett.com to learn more. That's SubaruofGwinnett.com. Subaru of Gwinnett in Duluth. More than a car dealer. On select models cannot be combined with any other offer. With approved credit. Well-qualified applicants only. Expires month end.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Mike Rowe here with a few thoughts on my favorite sweatshirt. A classic zip-up hoodie that used to be navy blue but has since faded to what the fashionistas call a distressed indigo. It's 13 years old, soft as a flannel bathrobe, and after a few hundred dirty jobs, demonstrably and undeniably indestructible. This is the kind of sweatshirt girlfriends like to permanently borrow. But I've held on to this one because I got it from American Giant. American Giant makes all their stuff right here in the USA, so they can control every link in their own supply chain. That matters, because when you buy American Giant, you not only get great quality, you create jobs for people in factory towns all over the country. No pressure, but if you give a damn about the business of making things in America, you got to support the companies who are doing it right.
Thanks, Mike. One more thing we agree on. Buy American at american-giant.com/Glenn. Use my name and get 20% off your first order at american-giant.com/Glenn.
I heard something about that. I think, I was just saying, I think the morning show killed me off today.
I think they did.
Those guys, you got the love of 318. Little Sam Cooke here for you. Yeah, boy. Da-da-da-da. Sam Cooke. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Sam Cooke hits You Send Me, Chain Gang, Cupid, Twisting the Night Away. Another Saturday Night, all great songs. Cause of death, 3 gunshot wounds after raping a 22-year-old woman in an L.A. motel. That was an unfortunate thing for old Sam there.
If you guys have never heard how he died, read the description of how he died in that motel. There's some weird stuff going on.
I remember years ago I did that once, but I can't remember all the specifics. Do you remember offhand?
Was it an Asian woman that shot him or something?
I think it was a motel clerk.
Him,
yeah, and she thought he was trying to rob the place or something. And yeah, I think he had just his underpants on or something, running around.
He was chasing a woman around. And, it was a story.
Yeah, it was not good. And he was only like, what, 30 or
very
something.
young. Very young.
He was 33. Birthdays include Linda Blair, superstar of The Exorcist. 65 years old today. Holy cow. Wow. I remember that movie like yesterday, too, and I interviewed the author and the director.
William Peter Blatty was the director.
Right. The author was Schwaff.
Or was that the author?
I think he was the author. And the director, I don't remember, but I interviewed him. And I read the book twice and then saw the movie.
The book. I read the book and refused to see the movie after reading the book.
Well, I was doing the interview with a guy. So this was back, I was at a radio station here in Atlanta where the morning show was a guy named John Moore, was the host of the morning show. And then he would do interviews. And he would say, our guest today is Linda Blair. Linda, how you doing? And she'd answer. And actually, the interviews were done by all of us news people most of the time. And when if a celebrity would come into town, we'd go meet him at the airport or someplace or where they were staying, and with a tape recorder, we would interview these celebrities and then take it back to the radio station, and the production staff would cut it up so that John Moore would ask the questions and she would answer as though she was there with John Moore.
So it's kind of lazy.
It was all hard work for us.
It was hard work not for him.
And at the exactly. And at the very beginning of the program, at 5 o'clock in the morning, you'd say portions of the following show are pre-recorded.
Yeah,
and when you say that, you can do anything you want.
I'm going to go a little judgmental here. I think that's laziness.
Well, it certainly is an easy way of not having to worry about getting the person in the studio and doing it live and being prepared and all
God
that
forbid.
stuff.
Working.
Anyway,
William Friedkin was the director.
That's right. That's the guy I interviewed. I interviewed him on that.
Good director.
Too. Let's see. On this day in history, well, let's mention this now. 51 years ago, in 1973, Supreme Court, Roe versus Wade, legalized abortions in the first 6 months of pregnancy. States could not prohibit abortions during the first trimester, but could regulate the procedure during the second trimester to protect a woman's health. was basically overruled 2 years ago. Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, returning some of the power to regulate abortion back to the states. And by the way, remember, ladies, you can have all the abortions you want. The Supreme Court did not outlaw abortions. They only said it's up to the states. Go if your state wants abortions, fine. Yeah. It's not the which, by the way, should have been the thing all along. The federal government has no business in abortion. Well, why would you want the federal government to have anything to do with abortion?
With your body.
And by the way, I love it. Two things. Got it. Oh, do we have Fran? Can Fran hold on a second? I'll forget this. I swear to God. Fran, hold on, or I'll forget this. We just heard during the news, President's side piece, America's official shiftless, lazy vice president, Carmela, made a big point. Now, in fact, there's the first Biden campaign commercial that she's doing a big thing now just came out this weekend, and it's on abortion. They're blaming Donald Trump. They're blaming Donald Trump for trying to save babies, basically. Which is pretty funny. Yeah. Donald Trump is trying to stop the murder a bit. Anyway, whatever your theories, that's what they're doing. The only thing they have to run is against Donald Trump and against abortion. So, I mean, that's what the Democrats are doing. That was proven today. And yet, they say, keep your hands off my body. Women should not be forced to have you determine what goes on or into their body. Oh, you mean like a vaccine? How many federal employees got fired? How many military people got fired because they wouldn't take the freaking vaccine? Millions? Hundreds of thousands? And so, keep your hands off my body, my ass. You didn't have a problem with taking vaccines. You demand people take vaccines. You demand women take vaccines. You demand childbearing age women put that poison into their bodies. And if they don't, they get punished. So screw you freaking phony hypocrites. God, I hate these people.
You want to control a body? It's called, taking a pill, taking the morning after pill. Yeah. There's a diaphragm. Make him wear something.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's called controlling your body.
Unbelievable. All right. Oh, I'm sure I got tried. Fran, you're on the radio. How's it going, Fran?
Gemma.
Hey, Fran. Hey, by the way, you got a girl's name, you poor bastard. I'd hate to have to grow up with a girl's name. I'm sorry. I was just fooling around.
Yes,
sir. I know. I'm sorry.
The name's Francis Sawyer. any you homos.
Call me Francis.
Call me Francis.
I'll kill you. You keep your meat hooks off my stuff. I don't want nobody going through my stuff.
But any of you guys touch my stuff.
Lighten up, Francis. That's one of the greatest sets of dialogues in all of Boofy-dom.
All right, I got 3 points here for you, Kim. I'm going to get straight to the point, and I'm not going to F around.
All right.
And judging you're the president of the damn swear club, you know what F around means.
No, please, yes, be very careful. We have lots of families listening in their cars.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
It's a family show.
Yes, it is.
You're right. All right, first, you guys are a bunch of homos.
Well,
you got Gemma, you got Flounder. What's up with Pete? We can't come up with a name for Pete.
Well, Pete's a perfectly
that is a made-up name. It's a nickname already.
You don't tell me what your real name is?
No, it's a girl's name.
It's a girl's name.
I'm liking Peter Piper or Peter Player.
No.
All right. Moving on. I did, you've heard of the Lincoln Lawyer?
Lincoln Lawyer, absolutely. I read the book. I saw the movie, yeah. Uh-oh, we lose him?
Fran.
We might have lost him.
Oh,
there you go. I'm sorry. We lost you, Fran.
Well, I'll file for proprietary name of it's unbelievable. So now you can trademark it's unbelievable because I hear you say that about.
I do say it a lot.
5 times an hour.
Yeah, I do.
So, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable how often I say. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're about to retire, Kimmer.
Tell me about it.
I was just trying to tee you up because I can't wait for the Fannie Willis.
Be retired.
Yeah.
Fannie Willis. We all love. How many people do you know named Fannie? They're either a stripper, a hooker, or a nanny.
That's right. Fannie.
So
Yeah.
have Flounder tee up Fat Bottom Girls for the next intro, and can't wait to hear your take on Fanny.
All right, Fred, you have a good one out there. Be careful, my friend. Outstanding. I asked for it. I gave the phone number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And again, if you just joined us, sad news, and just leading off a few minutes ago, it was announced that Dexter King Jr., Dexter King died, Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, Dexter, after a battle with prostate cancer. He was in California, and he was named after the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Alabama, where his father served as pastor. Dexter King was 7 when his father was assassinated in 1968.
It just says that Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg is battling prostate cancer, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, he's got to be, he's probably 55-ish or 60-ish. Well, hell, I was in 82, and
How
he was
old is
probably
Ryan
25.
Sandberg?
So he's probably 54.
64.
Oh, 64.
Yeah, he's older than I thought.
Well, they say, and now I don't know whether that, of course, we're just talking about prostate cancer.
You hung out at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
He hung out at Wrigley Field, and you both have prostate cancer.
Well, there you are. And we both hit home runs at Wrigley Field. By the way, how many people... What? And I was wearing...
Is there no videotape?
And I was wearing a suit and wingtip shoes.
Was not videotape around in the 80s?
I want to ask you this. How many people in the world...
Ask me.
How many people in the world have, one, hit a home run at Wrigley Field...
Hundreds.
...and been goosed by Walter Payton?
Hundreds on both accounts.
Oh, horse feathers. Have hit a home run at Wrigley Field and been goosed by Walter Payton?
Was there not videotape in 1984?
Well, not from the batting instructor was and the assistant third base coach throwing me the ball.
So we're just gonna take your word for it.
He didn't have a pocket camcorder back then.
Who was throwing you the ball?
I don't remember his name. It was a young kid, and he was a great guy.
Can you come up with one human being, one eyewitness that can back this story up?
I'll bet you if I could get the employment records, I could prove it, and I could get if they had their photographs of the pick, I could pick him out. I can see his face right now. He's probably 25 or 30 years old.
Was Jody Davis watching?
Jody Davis was number 17.
Was he watching?
I don't know. Well, maybe. He might have been. Jody.
He's
Jody
from here.
Davis. He's from Georgia, and he's number 17. I remember this very well. And he was the one who waggle-dangled his naked wangle-dangle while I was doing an interview with somebody in the locker room trying to distract
he ain't going to call now.
He tried to distract me because he was behind the interviewee I was interviewing, and he was behind he took his towel off and go, da-da-da-da-da. Like
everybody, okay, Atlanta's the smallest big town in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody here, okay?
Well,
I'll tell you a story off there.
Jody Davis.
Somebody that listens to us knows Jody Davis.
Right. Now, if he was there the day what was the year that Leon Durham had the ball go 84. Through his Gatorade? Okay.
I was there.
It was 1984 when I hit a home run at Wrigley Field in batting practice before the game.
That was the year they lost to the Cubs and to the Padres.
Yes, they did, and I'm sure I'm to blame. Oh my! Well, I've blown that.
They were so full of themselves out in San Diego, running their mouths. Those Cubs fans.
I know.
Front runners.
Yeah. Well, they got what they deserved.
They did.
Anyway, well, it was nice while it lasted. Though, really, it was really.
Oh, it was a fun year.
Time. That was a great season. In fact, that whole year was a great year. Also, a couple years later, when San Diego started going nuts, like at 85 or 86, that was also great.
No, San Diego went to the World Series in 84 and got blown out by the Tigers.
Yeah. Anyway, 3:30, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder, and so much more. We'll actually get to the actual stories in a minute. Look out. Here we go.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis will be in a courtroom today, but it won't be trying a case. Willis, who has been alleged to having an affair with Nathan Wade, has been subpoenaed by Wade's ex-wife to testify in their divorce case. Willis filed an emergency motion for a protective order, but was denied when Jocelyn Wade submitted bank records showing Wade and Willis took multiple trips together during the investigation into the election interference case involving former President Donald Trump. Atlanta Hawks point guard Trae Young is out indefinitely after getting elbowed in the face Saturday night and was diagnosed with a concussion. Part of the NBA's concussion protocol, Young must show he is symptom-free before resuming basketball activities, and there's no timetable for the Stars' return. With your headlines, I'm Scott Rhino.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House again. It's time to just lock them up. Just lock them up. And I bet you think I'm talking about lying Joe and Hunter Biden. While that's a great idea, what I'm really talking about are things like guns, important paperwork, and extra cash you may have just laying around the house. The deals on Safe are hot. Drop by the Atlanta Safe House and save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. No appointment needed. Drop by the showroom in Ackworth and let the safe experts help you pick the safe that's right for you. Or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
The engagement ring that started your story, the wedding band that commemorates that special day, the diamond tennis bracelet for your first anniversary, the beautiful earrings with your first child's birthstone. Some of your life's best moments were celebrated with the help of Solomon Brothers Jewelers. No matter the occasion, we've been there for all of them. From weddings and birthdays to anniversaries and graduations, nothing says I love you more than a beautiful piece of fine jewelry from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. What's your next special occasion? Celebrate it with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings, necklace, bracelet, watch, or a ring from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. See rings and styles you've never seen before at prices you've never seen before. And don't forget, we also offer jewelry cleaning and repair. Life's greatest moments are meant to be cherished, and no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead or Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, online at SolomonBrothers.com and on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Diaz and Gaeta.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, I'm Giovanni Diaz.
And I'm Zach Gaeta. We have been in practice for 11 years and have 6 attorneys on staff. Our practices offered our personal injury, immigration, and criminal defense. We're located right here in Cobb County. Check out our website at eglawga.com and set up a free consultation.
We believe legal help should be accessible and affordable for everyone. The first consultation is always free and directly with one of our attorneys, and we maintain contact with our clients. We do not build walls between clients and attorneys. I assure you, Attorney Diaz and Gaeta will be working on your case and walking through the entire process.
Our team is always looking for opportunities to serve the community. We are open to participating with nonprofit and community organizations. That's why our relationship with Our Town Monthly is important to us.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you and the entire team at Diaz and Gaeta. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
You know, it just hit me. A lot of people think that Rough Greens is dog food. Not at all. Rough Greens is a dog supplement. Greetings. I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, founder of Rough Greens, and you may already know this, but dog food is dead food. And Rough Greens is what our furry family members desperately want and need nutritionally to rebuild their immune system so they can feel better and live longer. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just sprinkle on some Rough Greens with the live vitamins, minerals, probiotics, digestive enzymes, omega oils, tons of antioxidants, all to help with their low energy, achy joints, bad breath, and all the other problems they have. So yes, my dogs and I are still offering a free Jumpstart trial bag, so your dog can try it. All you got to do is cover the shipping. Hey, it's an easy, smart way to help your furry friend feel better and live longer. A free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door within a few business days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com.
Or not.
Oh, I can't paint you now. It's a paint showing you a apparently somebody told him that if you talk like this and pause a lot, you can make a record. Can be on the radio and make money with a record. Reading somebody else's words. Telly Savalas. My God, man. Speaking of dying of prostate cancer, so Dexter King, we just announced that a short while ago, died of prostate cancer. He was 62. And Telly Savalas, on this day, died of prostate cancer in 1994. He was age 72. Telly Savalas, actor, and now they call him a singer. He had the 1975 British #1 single, If. This talking song, If, by Bread, was #1 in Britain. One more. Was really a man.
Had a woman's name.
Oh, my God. It's a beautiful song and a beautiful poem.
No, it's not.
No,
None
it
of
is.
this is.
Well, not him, not doing it like this, but the Bread song was a beautiful song. Right. If I could, it's a beautiful. Oh God, you guys, both of you guys have no freaking soul, and my heart's like charcoal. My God, I've never heard such a thing in my life. Anyway, Telly Savalas died at 72 this day in 94 from prostate cancer, just like everybody apparently. Lieutenant Theo Kojak, the bald New York City detective of the TV series Kojak, fondness for lollipops, and his trademark phrase,
"Who loves you, baby?"
Who loves you, baby? And of course, he was in the Dirty Dozen, too. Played the psycho in the Dirty Dozen.
Why did he shave his head?
I don't know.
To play Pontius Pilate in one of the Jesus movies.
Oh, that's right. I remember that movie, too. I did not know that. Let's see. Birthday list includes Diane Lane.
Oh, yeah.
59.
Good-looking woman.
And by the way, I'm going to read you the history list of Diane Lane's credits. Here's Diane Lane, 59. Unfaithful, The Perfect Storm, Rumblefish, The Outsiders, Judge Dredd. Mm-hmm. Most recently, she was Superman's mom in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League. She was once married to both Josh Brolin and Highlander superstar Christopher Lambert.
At the same time.
Apparently, so a very horny woman. They left out Secretariat.
Yeah, they did.
It was a huge movie for her. And by the way, she's a terrible actress. I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman.
She's a beautiful woman. I would call her a handsome woman. Very
sexy. Striking
as a handsome woman. But a terrible actress. Just horrible. Okay, Big Red. Oh, God, here, help me. Anyway, and on this day in history, 1984. Oh, I remember this. A Ridley Scott directed commercial, 1984, during the Super Bowl 18, introduced the Apple Macintosh computer. Mm-hmm. The Raiders beat the Redskins 38-9. Barry Manilow sang the national anthem. Marcus Allen was the MVP, and I remember the time when I was at Publix up in Alpharetta near my stable a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden I noticed somebody was right near the cashier next to mine, and people started there was a buzz in the crowd, and people saying, "Well, I look over, it was Marcus Allen standing at 4 feet from me." And so I went over there, and luckily, this back during the China kill virus, and we're all wearing masks. I was wearing my skeleton mask, like the Raiders logos of like a Skeletons fan. So I went up to him and I said, "Hey, can we do it? You mind if I do a selfie?" And he said, "Sure." So I did it. I talked with Marcus Allen, did a little selfie with him. I don't think he knew who I was. I think I introduced myself, but I'm not. Now he lives around here, I think, or he spends time around here. So it's possible he may have known who I was. And I said, "I'm, whatever." But he did a nice little selfie with me, and I thought he was very nice and very cool about it, and very much a gentleman.
That was the one where they beat Washington, right?
Washington beat them 30.
No. I think
the Raiders beat the Redskins 38-9.
That started out. It looked like Washington was going to just blow them out, and then Marcus Allen single-handedly turned that game around, where he was kind of caught in the backfield, and he turned and juked and missed. Made one guy miss and went right up the middle, and the Raiders never looked back. I mean, it was like a 70-yard run or something. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Was Plunkett the quarterback?
Might have been Plunkett
or Danny Stabler. How about the snake? Might have been Ken Stabler?
No, Stabler was well before that.
Okay. Well, I don't remember.
In fact, Plunkett may have been. I don't remember who the hell.
I can't.
It wasn't Rich Gannon. That was after.
I don't know.
Oh, we got breaking news.
Breaking news. Uh-oh, what's going on?
The Supreme Court has stabbed us in the back. They have voted 5-4. They are siding with Biden over Texas. They have ruled that the Border Patrol agents can remove the concertina wire erected by the state of Texas. So the Border Patrol can go in there, open it up, and let the invasion continue. And our so-called conservative Supreme Court is allowing it to happen.
Well, I assume, I don't have the story in front of me. I was just breaking, so we may not have much of the arguments, but clearly they are now saying that the state does not have the right to protect its borders, in contrast to any rule that might come down from the federal government. The federal government oversees any state law. But even on protecting the state border, how is that possible?
Well, because it's a border with an international country, which means the feds.
Now, I wonder about a state-to-state border. If Texas wanted to put a border up to Arizona
which they should have one in Louisiana, frankly.
Oh, hey.
Everybody should.
So 5-4 against...
for Biden.
For Biden.
And the
5-4 in favor of taking down the Texas border fence, the barbed wire, that the Texas governor of Texas put up barbed wire to stop the invasion, and the Supreme Court today ruled 5-4 that they do not have the right to put up their own barbed wire, and that the federal officials can take it down.
The federal government is an active enemy of the people of the United States of America, and has been for quite some time now.
Well, I'm almost getting a little more nervous than I was thinking about before about the case when they get to the voting, whether Donald Trump can be kicked off a ballot. But for not being ever,
I think that's a little different.
On the evils of the mostly peaceful insurrection.
He has not been convicted of insurrection.
Yeah.
That's
or even
the
charged.
law. That's law. This was a law where the feds have jurisdiction, but it was still 5-4.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah. Well, again, if the Democrats ever get back in control, it won't be 5-4. It'll be a 17-8.
It's over.
They'll stack the cord, and we'll never.
Well, and we say that every election. This election is true. Yeah, look around.
We're not kidding.
How much have things changed in the last 3-4 years?
That's right.
Under this one idiot. Imagine 8 years of this idiot, and it's Obama's 4th term at that point.
Yeah.
Fundamentally change America.
Yeah. Well, they deliberately allowed all the millions to come in by saying, well, you're a refugee, so therefore you don't have to, abide by the rules. And then they blame Republicans for not having a border policy. We have a border policy. You just overruled it.
It's a law, and you're not enforcing the law.
It's unfreaking believable. 344 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Wow. So that's a bad one. Another legal thing. Oh, and by the way, we're going to hear from Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump and Nikki Haley and what's his name from the guy on the Dana White and the Snowball Girl, Reese Witherspoon. I like her. And Illegally Blonde, she was a dish. I don't care what you tell me. Anyway, now, here at home, a Fulton County District Attorney, Fanny the Flirty Floozy from Fulton County, Fanny the home wrecker, is going to be, she doesn't have to give testimony, at least for now, concerning the divorce of her side piece, the married man that she was farnuculating and then putting on the payroll to take all those fancy, expensive trips around the world. And so a judge has ruled today, Fulton County says that she does not have to testify, and she does not have to be forced, she cannot be forced to testify, at least for now. Now, the judge ruled he needed to hear what Nathan Wade said. Nathan Wade is her side piece. Nathan Wade was a married guy who was cheating on his wife with Fanny the Flirt Floozy. The judge says he wants to hear from Nathan Wade, the soon-to-be ex-husband, in his deposition before determining if Fanny the Floozy should be deposed in the divorce. He says, it seems to me that Mr. Wade would be the first and best source of information on what his income has been, how he's spending it, and whether he would have firsthand knowledge of whether he's engaged in an extramarital affair. Willis is trying to block the deposition of her. It all started because one of the lawyers involved with one of the Trump co-defendants is saying this case ought to be thrown out because she was farnuculating with a guy that she hired to help her with the case, even though he's totally unqualified for it. And so Trump charged with racketeering and all those kinds of things. The judge said he would unseal the divorce case, noting that the way they sealed it, Fanny the Floozy tried to get it sealed. She sealed the divorce court case because she didn't want people to know that she was the side piece and they were taking trips, and that he's spending his and his wife's money on Fanny. And so she did. So she had it sealed, and the judge said, "No, you can't do that. You can't just seal it. There's a process." So he's going to open up the divorce case. So we're all going to know the information. And the judge said, "Well, we'll get this guy Wade to testify first." So she didn't have to testify yet, but she probably. Why is she even in a job? She should have recused herself today. Hell, she should have done it last week.
You know why she announced last Sunday?
That's right.
She's untouchable.
Yep, it's all racism. Yep. That's all racism. 346, Kimber, Feet, and Flounder. And the politics continues. So hear them all next with a Kimber, Feet, and Flounder right there.
The Morning Extra with Todd, Rhino, and Los.
We will not be energy independent and really devalue the barrel on their side. In fact, we're increasing the number so that they're making even triple or more the amount of money they can sell a barrel for.
Okay, we did that.
We did that.
Joe did that.
$70 billion profits.
I did that.
And we're not talking about $70 billion over 10 years. We're talking about $70 billion a month almost.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. only on Extra 106.3.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta is a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let all Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors be the ones to tell you yes.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is defense attorney Lance LaRusso. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Aches and pains are just part of getting older. You know it and I know it, but that doesn't mean you have to just accept it. That's why I want to tell you the story about Nancy from Texas and her Relief Factor story. For years, she took care of horses and gave riding lessons. She started getting older and Nancy began feeling the effects, so she decided to give Relief Factor a try. It didn't work overnight, but it did work. These days, she says, I have more stamina because I don't hurt. With Relief Factor, she can keep going and doing more. I can relate, as I used to have terrible aches and pains in my hands. It was to the point that I didn't even want to get out of bed in the morning. But ever since starting Relief Factor, I've got my life back. If you're living with aches and pains, see how Relief Factor, a daily drug-free supplement, can help you feel and live a better life every day. To get started, try Relief Factor, their 3-week quick start kit. It's $19.95, comes with a feel better or your money back guarantee. Visit relieffactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4, RELIEF.
Dun, 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 dun. I always like this song.
It likes you.
I do. It's a goofy song. But here. Da, 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 da. The radio star, video killed the radio. I love this little silly song. The Buggles. The first song on MTV on this day in 1983. The new 24-hour music video network, MTV, broadcast to the west coast of America after being picked up by Group W Cable in Los Angeles. MTV, 1983. And the Buggles have killed the radio star. Let's see. Birthdays include celebrity chef Guy Fieri. Guy is 56 years old today. Guy. And let's see. On this day in history, 1998, Mary Bono, the widow of Sonny Bono, announced that she would run for the congressional seat held by her dead, terrible skier of a husband who slammed himself into a tree and died. And I almost did. I mean, I told the story a couple of weeks ago, so I can't tell it again. But
you can't.
For some reason, Mary Bono, when she took his place in Congress, she won. She won the seat. And on the first day, Teddy Kennedy sent her over a drink.
Poor Sonny pulled a George of the Jungle there. Watch out for that tree.
Ow! Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm telling
you, you get going and it's hard to stop.
I lost control. I tried to downhill, and the last day at Aspen or Vail. I know it was Aspen. Aspen.
You can't tell the story, so just stop
right. Okay,
right there. But there's nothing funnier when you're watching videos. Watch people slip and slide down a driveway into traffic. There's nothing funnier. The look on their faces.
When they get bounced off the car.
Comedy gold.
It's hysterical. Let's say it. 3:53. Sick bastards.
It is funny.
Okay, Flounder, let's run down. We got three political cuts here for you to hear. Ron DeSantis finally threw in the hat out the window because it just wasn't working. Here's Ron DeSantis saying why he's getting out of the race.
Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge.
Yeah, it's a race for the White House. Now it's down to 2, and it won't be long.
Why do you have to bring Stymie into this? Stymie didn't do anything.
When you got a picture of this little black kid with
it's a little rascal, Stymie.
Stymie. Well, what did I say? Stymie. Did I say Stymie?
No, he says that that Trump had been stymied. There's no reason to bring Stymie in.
Well, it's all racism, these Republicans. Unbelievable. Anyway, so he's out, and he will support Trump, although, we'll see. And now let's get to, right after that, soundbite number 2. After Ron DeSantis says he's out, Donald Trump has what you would assume is a typical and very nice reaction. Oh.
Before we begin, I'd like to take time to congratulate Ron DeSantis and, of course, a really terrific person who I've gotten to know his wife, Casey, for having run a great campaign for president. He did. He ran a really good campaign, I will tell you. It's not easy. They think it's easy doing this stuff, right? It's not easy. But as you know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m., and in so doing, he was very gracious, and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden. We will have to get him out. We have to get him out.
And he also announced that the name Ron DeSanctimonious on the campaign trail is now retired, officially retired.
Okay, a little
now they're making friends.
Offside here. You know where the word stymie came from?
Stymie. Probably not Latin. Probably some kind of Spanish or French derivation.
It is an obsolete rule in the sport of golf, where a player's
I know what that means.
A ball lays behind or blocked by another player's ball. It's ball blocking.
Yeah.
And we all know how painful that can be. The block player was not afforded relief. What did you have to skip it over the other ball?
You had to skip it over the ball. And you can see it in the old. In fact, it's in the movie. One of the greatest movies of all time is when that guy who played the killer.
Game?
Something like not quite. That's close to it. The greatest game.
We met.
Francis Ouimet beating the overseas Bobby Jones. I mean, not
Chadwick
Bobby Jones. No, the grip. The guy who made the grip. The
British guy.
Yeah. God, I can't believe
it. It doesn't matter. But anyway, it's an old rule, and they changed the rule in the 1940s and 50s.
You could mark it. You could mark your ball to get it out of the way.
Stymie
came from. You were stymied in the thing, and you played. And now back to the actual political stuff. But it was related. It was like a Shakespearean aside, the kind of thing that you don't get everywhere. And now Nikki Haley. Nikki, talk about, doubling down on being kind of a witch, it seems to me. But anyway, here's Nikki Haley talking about, politics, and she's still in it for now. I think. Do we have a little Nikki Haley? Sorry, Flounders in the back of the room there.
My bad. Right here.
There we go. Here's a little Nikki.
Recently, there have been multiple things. I mean, he claimed that Joe Biden was going to get us into World War II. I'm assuming he meant World War III. He said that he ran against President Obama. He never ran against President Obama. He says that I'm the one that kept security from the Capitol on January 6th. I was nowhere near the Capitol on January 6th. But, Margaret, you don't be surprised if you have someone that's 80 in office. Their mental stability is going to continue to decline. That's just human nature. We know that.
Nikki Haley was on a show where she was asked about the President of the United States and whether she had seen any evidence of Donald Trump declining mentally while she was in the cabinet as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. That was her answer. And she said, this is a real issue with Donald Trump because he's old. It's not being disrespectful, just a fact. She said when she was in the cabinet, she repeatedly let Trump know if she thought he was doing something that was wrong. She says Donald Trump is not at the same level he was in 2016. We're seeing more of that decline.
She's not making any friends. She really isn't.
Yeah. I mean, she's getting... and again,
she's proven Vivek is right, that she's just a biatch.
Yeah. And by the way, Tim Scott is about to... Tim Scott from South Carolina, where she was a governor, has also announced his support for Donald Trump. And
stabbed her in the back.
Yeah, he got because she's the one who supported him, and
she appointed him.
Yeah, she put him in there. So it's kind of, on the other hand, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm still. Yeah. He owed her.
Yeah. Well, I don't. In politics, he had if he had supported her over Trump. Trump holds grudges.
That's true.
So who knows? On the other hand, we congratulate him. Because Tim Scott just got engaged. And it was on the beach, and was it Hilton Head or where?
It was cold, I know that.
Yeah. And so he did the old on the beach engagement.
He did the beach.
Engagement.
Look, I don't know the woman. Don't be casting aspersions.
I'm just saying. It just reminds me of my own beach proposal.
Oh God, help me! You were on a beach. You were up in a restaurant high above the cliffs. We've heard the story 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Seriously. By the way, Harry Varden.
What? The Varden grip. Yeah. Harry Varden. The Varden
Never
grip.
heard of the Varden grip.
Well,
what is the Varden grip?
It's the oh my God! It's the overlapping grip as opposed to the interlocking grip.
Okay, you've seen me play golf, so why would you expect I would know?
I don't know
what the Varden grip would be.
And it was a very famous. It was a great movie, by the way.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, you like
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's right. All right, 4:00. I'm sorry, we're late. Look out! Sorry.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Texas loses a round on immigration. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court just ruling that federal agents will be allowed to cut razor wire installed by Texas along the southern U.S. border, at least for now, while a legal fight continues. It's a split decision, 5-4, granting the Biden administration's emergency appeal of a lower court ruling in favor of the state. Several of his former rivals plan to join former President Trump at a rally tonight in New Hampshire, including Senator Tim Scott, who tells Fox News.
We need 4 more years of common sense. We need 4 more years of tax cuts. And we need 4 more years of actual world peace that we had when President Trump was our commander-in-chief.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis becoming the latest to back Trump after suspending his campaign over the weekend ahead of tomorrow's New Hampshire primary. But Nikki Haley says voters want a new direction.
They're saying they want something different, and they don't care about any poll they see. They know that they have a chance to change the direction of our country tomorrow, and I think you're going to see them show up and do that.
Haley says she's in it for the long haul, rejecting speculation about a third-party run if she doesn't win the Republican nomination. No delegates will be awarded for Democrats in New Hampshire after the party bumped South Carolina to first on its primary calendar. President Biden focusing on abortion, singling out states that have passed laws since Roe versus Wade, passed bans, I should say, since Roe versus Wade was overturned.
In states like Texas, doctors can get a life sentence for providing the care they were trained to provide. It's outrageous. It's simply outrageous.
This as Vice President Harris begins a Fight for Reproductive Freedoms tour. They plan a joint rally tomorrow in Virginia. New records on Wall Street. The Dow just closing above 38,000 for the first time. The S&P also with another record close. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, a lot of you know that I learned how to use a firearm when I was 11 years old. I've been practicing my entire life, and people ask me all the time, Hannity, what kind of gun should I get? Well, now I'm telling them, go to Henry Repeating Arms. And I always tell them to start just by going to their website, henryusa.com. You're going to get a free catalog. Now, Henry has over 200 models of rifles and shotguns to choose from. They're made with the finest craftsmanship I've ever seen, and you don't beat their performance. Every one I had was accurate right out of the box and reliable ever since. Their company motto is made in America or not made at all. They have a lifetime warranty, family-owned business, and these folks are true patriots who give back to our military, our vets, our first responders, sick kids, you name it. They support gun safety, and they support our Second Amendment. So if you're in the market for a high-quality, American-made firearm, just go to henryusa.com. You get their free catalog, list of dealers, and free decals, henryusa.com. You'll love this company.
Dun, dun, dun. This a live version, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Yes. Paul McCartney and Wings. This ain't even the Beatles.
Yeah. In fact, was on this day in 1977, Paul McCartney went to #1 on the U.S. album chart with a triple live album, Wings Over America.
I got that album.
That you got that? Paul McCartney's 6th #1 after the Beatles. The album cover was designed by Hypnosis. Nominated in 1978 for a Grammy Award for Best Album Package.
Yeah.
And depicts an airliner about to open the cabin door.
It was great. The photos inside, the posters inside, the stuff. It was amazing. Three set album.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the we have a little known fact sheet that Flounder prints up every day. And on the little known fact sheet today is none of the Beatles could read or write conventional music. Paul McCartney called it dots on a page.
Well, he could, but not like most musicians.
I think
do.
You're supposed to go against the information sheet from Flounder.
I'm just saying.
You have to be part of the team.
Okay, the man
here.
wrote symphonies. You telling me he can't read music, but he helped write symphonies?
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying.
How would he do that?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. The older I get, the more I don't know anything.
You know about as much about music as I do about golf.
Squat. Jack squat. Well, I know this. I know our birthday list includes Steve Perry, 75 years old, original Journey singer and a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Steve Perry is missing a few stones out of his driveway because in 1980-4 or something or other, I was in San Francisco and had my 2 daughters visiting, and I drove by Steve Perry's house, got out of the car, and we picked up stones out of his driveway in the Bay Area of San Francisco, and so they could take them back as souvenirs.
Journey's not really music, though.
What's it? Oh, yes, it is.
No, it's corporate.
The one where it says I'm not cheating on you and stuff on the road.
All hard. All
Journey
stuff
song.
is hard.
Oh, my God, you guys are unbelievable.
It's REO Speedwagon on the West Coast is all it is.
Take It on the Run, one of the great songs of all time.
Please,
REO.
just shoot me.
Much better than those rock and roll hippie freaks you guys like with that stupid song.
Like ZZ Top?
No, the one that you like the other version of Take It on the Run. Take It on the Run, baby.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, one of the songs that I like is there's a modern version of it. I thought it was Taken on the Run.
No, it's not.
Well, then it's one somebody like REO Speedwagon, and there's another rock group that did it like 10 years later.
I don't know what you're
Well,
talking about.
you always rag me every time you disagree with a version of the song that I say is better. The older version is much better than the
Because I'm right.
And I thought it was REO Speedwagon. Clearly, it's
Flounder,
not.
you going to weigh in on this? You have any clue what he's talking about?
Yeah, I actually saw REO Speedwagons a few years ago when I had to work a marketing gig in Del Mar, and I saw them, and they sounded just like they do on the album.
Really?
Super boring, yeah.
But now I'll be thinking all night about the stupid song. That there's an updated version of a song I like, and I thought it was Taken on the Run.
It's not that one.
Well, it's one of those songs by a group like that, and then there's a modern kind of the guys who you made fun of at the podium that day, and they Smash Mouth sucks, and like Smash Mouth did a version of it, or somebody like Smash Mouth.
Nickelback?
Maybe, I don't know. No, it wasn't him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I'm screwing up everything here like an idiot. On this day in, by the way, I've got a bunch of sports history things. Can I do a sports history thing here instead of your sport? Now, this involves the New York Yankees. Do you have any sports history involving New York Yankees?
I do, but I probably ignored it.
Okay, well then I will tell you this one. On this day in 1929, the New York Yankees announced they would put numbers on the back of their uniforms.
I did. I ignored that story.
Well, this kind of thing I think is really cool.
It is cool.
They were the first baseball team to put numbers on the uniforms, 1929. Of course, that was the 29 Yankees. I mean,
and you know how they did it?
By batting order.
That's right.
And that's why Babe Ruth had number 3 because he was third, and Lou Gehrig was number 4 because he batted fourth.
Yeah.
And of course, after the first round, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense because then in the seventh inning, the first batter could be number 7.
You know why they fought putting numbers on the uniforms?
They didn't want people to be big shots. They wanted to have the team be all thing. I think
they thought that people would not buy programs.
Really? So. Well, that didn't make any sense.
I know.
They would buy more programs.
And they fought against radio and on TV. Everything they fought against made no sense.
Yeah.
But that was baseball owners.
Well,
which is why we have a union.
Yeah. Oh God.
Well,
408. Well, it could be a worse union. We could have a much worse union than we do. But again, what they're doing to baseball now, we'll see. 408, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. If you'd like to join us, and we're always in favor of phone calls. UFC's Dana White. I mean, this was beautiful. If you haven't heard it, you're going to get a kick out of this. Okay, Dana White was asked a question about a recent tirade by a fighter named Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland was being interviewed and was asked, I think it was Toronto.
Yeah.
And he was asked if, the reporter mentioned how he was an ally of the LGBT community and that Toronto has a large gay lesbian community. And Strickland, he had made some comments about the LGBT type people. And so the Strickland asked the reporter if he was gay and if he had a son was gay, whether he wanted a grandchild. The reporter said, well, I'm not gay. I don't care if my grandson had one or not. And he said, well, then you're a weak blanking man. You're a part of the blanking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau. He sees bank accounts, so you're just blanking pathetic. You have no blanking backbone and shut down your blanking country and on and on and on.
God.
Oh, my God. It was wham, wham, wham about what's going on in Canada, which, by the way, is despicable. I mean, they have no rights. It's unbelievable. It's run by
dictator.
fiat.
He's a dictator.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so all this happened. Now, Dana White is being interviewed, and he was asked about Strickland. And here's the question, and here's Dana White's response to it.
You obviously give a long leash to your fighters about what they can say when they are up there with the UFC microphone, and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there?
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash? Free speech. Control what people say. Going to tell people what to believe. Going to tell people... I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want, and they can believe whatever they want.
Wow. Well, there you go. And, of course, the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light marketing campaign was a huge thing in the news. And Bud Light and the trans community partnered with Dana White. And is it UFC or UCF? Or
UFC.
UFC. Let's see. Some time ago, Dana White explained while they were original beer sponsors more than 15 years ago, he said 10 years ago to be trans was a mental blanking illness, and now all of a sudden people like you are weaseled your way into the world. You're an infection, and this is the guy, the fighter talking again. And Dana White says, "No, listen, man, we have you got to give people free speech," and I'm not sure.
Agree with them or not, it's called free speech.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it.
And we're the last place in the world that seems to care about it.
And by the way, the fact of the matter, people are saying, well, you took all that money for sponsorships for Bud Light. Well, that's your business.
But these reporters who have a gay agenda is what both these reporters are trying to push.
Canadian.
They're not used to people pushing back. They're used to be able to say the most outrageous questions and then want you to grovel and say, oh, yeah, you're right, and apologize. Screw them. Yeah. Fight back like Dana White just did.
Yeah. In fact, there's another fun thing in the news here today involving Reese Witherspoon. I love this story. I hadn't heard about it until I saw it this morning and my phone popped up with it. Reese Witherspoon is 47 years old these days, and she was on social media, and she's now laughing off her critics concerning the freshly fallen snow. Reese Witherspoon explained how she showed a recipe for freshly fallen snow to make something really delicious with it as she's scooping handfuls of snow off a car hood or something. Anyway, people are saying, oh my God, snow's dirty. It comes out of the sky with all the pollution and stuff. Anyway, so here's Reese Witherspoon explaining her snow recipe using fresh fallen snow and how people need to freaking wear a helmet and get over it.
Okay, talking about the snow not being filtered, I didn't grow up drinking filtered water. We drank out of the tap water. We actually put our mouths on the tap. And then sometimes, like in the summer, it was hot, we drank out of the hose. Like we put our mouth on the hose growing up. And then, filtered water, maybe that's why I'm like this. So what you're saying to me is I have to filter the snow before I eat? I just can't. I can't filter snow. I don't know how to do that. So there's so many.
Anyway, Reese Witherspoon, she says snow days were made for cocachinos, which is her recipe, showing her scooping snow off a car into 2 mugs. We have a ton of snow over the last 2 days. We decided to make a recipe. She was in Nashville at the time. And she said, you put snow in a clear cup, let it melt. No. She adds cold brew, salted caramel syrup, and chocolate syrup for a delicious treat. And they're complaining that it might be dirty snow. My God, I drank out of everybody's hose. And if you need a drink in the summertime, you go to anybody's house and drink off their faucet at the garage.
You did what?
It might have been misquoted. I might have been misunderstood.
Whose hose are we talking to? Did you put your lips on?
Moving on.
Everybody's?
I wasn't even there that weekend. 14 minutes after 4 already. Holy smokes.
Oh, sucker.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Do you remember Irwin Schiff? He's the congressman from California, said he had absolute proof that Trump colluded with Russia. He never produced it, but now he's running for the Senate, Dianne Feinstein's seat. He's a Democrat's Democrat. Let me give you a little look into the agenda of Irwin Schiff if he becomes a United States Senator from California, which he probably will. Number 1, 4 more justices on the Supreme Court, and he will make sure they are all liberals. Another one, kill the filibuster. Get a Democrat majority in the Senate of just 1 vote, and everything they want will be passed. Next, what he calls meaningful gun control. Yeah, right. He wants unions to have the advantage in all labor negotiations. He favors something called the PRO Act, which would kill all right-to-work laws. You have to pay union dues whether you're a member or want to or not. The corporate tax rate, he wants that to go from 21 to 35%. He knows that the useful idiots actually believe that corporations pay taxes. He wants to cancel $50,000 in student loans for every single student out there that owes it. Who'll end up paying for those loans? Why, of course, you, the taxpayer. Next on the Irwin Schiff agenda, legalize ballot harvesting. Go out there and collect as many ballots as you can and turn them in. On down the line, all illegals in this country should be given a path to citizenship and eventually a voter ID card. Irwin Schiff, and California is just crazy enough to elect this clown to the Senate. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
The engagement ring that started your story, the wedding band that commemorates that special day, the diamond tennis bracelet for your first anniversary, the beautiful earrings with your first child's birthstone. Some of your life's best moments were celebrated with the help of Solomon Brothers Jewelers. No matter the occasion, we've been there for all of them. From weddings and birthdays to anniversaries and graduations, nothing says I love you more than a beautiful piece of fine jewelry from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. What's your next special occasion? Celebrate it with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings, necklace, bracelet, watch, or a ring from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. See rings and styles you've never seen before at prices you've never seen before. And don't forget, we also offer jewelry cleaning and repair. Life's greatest moments are meant to be cherished, and no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead or Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, online at SolomonBrothers.com and on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves and choosing Truist One checking. No overdraft fees. Lots of perks you can cheer for. And when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One checking. One simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
It's 2024. Do you honestly think the government is looking out for you? Do they have your back? We have political chaos, global wars, no border protection, and our leadership telling you about pronouns and electric cars. It's time to take a hard look at protecting yourself and your family. It's time to visit the Oxford Gold Group. Call the Oxford Gold Group at 833-995-GOLD and order the investment guide or make a purchase of precious metals and get up to $2,500 in free gold. 833-995-GOLD.
Hey, this is Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, Saturdays and Sundays at noon right here on Extra 106.3. We unpack all the week's events with a different tune than anything else you hear on the radio. We bring honest takes, thoughts, lots of hurt feelings, who's whining and crying about absolutely everything, and what America has to do in order to change and move forward. Tune in Saturdays and Sundays at noon right here on Extra 106.3, brought to you by Butler Snow.
420, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And David Bowie. Big day for him in 1972. Is he going to start singing here? Yeah, we're admiring Flounder's new picture of his...
updated his profile pic on Facebook here.
Yeah. Very mysterious.
Also very stoned.
We got
While the sunglasses are on.
We're going to have to post that somewhere, I think, here probably. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 421. How's it going? 1063. 404-741-1230 is our number. 404-741-1230. David Bowie on this day, 1972, came out as bisexual during an interview in British Music Weekly Melody Maker. David Bowie said, quote, the biggest mistake I ever made was saying that I was bisexual. Christ, I was so young then. I was experimenting. It was pure revisionism for a more conservative age.
Yeah, he later said, he was married for years to the same woman, had kids, with another woman who lived here in Atlanta. Angela raised their son here in Atlanta, Little Five Points, I think. And she tried out for Wonder Woman, by the way.
Oh, she did?
She tried to be Wonder Woman.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I don't know, but if you're married and then you blank a blank, you're pretty much bi. I'm sorry. For men my ass.
Said he was
we saw you
young.
kissing that guy.
He was young. He was spraying Paris.
I was out of work. I needed the money.
You did a little gay porn yourself.
20. Well,
does that make you gay? You sucked some hoses. You said.
You eat 1 foot, you're a cannibal. I'm sorry. 422. Birthday list includes Olivia Dabo. Olivia Dabo's 55.
Yeah.
She was Fred Savage's older sister Karen on the Wonder Years, and she then became, I forgot where the name from something else. I can't remember what it is.
That her sister? Maybe Miriam Dabo, who was a Bond girl.
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton,
thin and cute. Yeah,
good looking woman.
Now I have another sports history thing. I don't want to.
Fine, go ahead. Just do the whole
Are you going to be mentioning anything about Bjorn Borg in sports?
No.
All right. Well, on this day in sports history, 1983, Bjorn Borg, the icy Swede. What did they used to call him? Wasn't it like the cold fish Swede guy or Swede guy? Because he never smiled or whatever. The icy Swede, Bjorn Borg, retired from tennis this day in 1983. He set the record, winning the Wimbledon championship 5 times in a row.
I remember when McEnroe finally beat him, we were so overjoyed. Yeah. But he just sit back on the baseline and hit the ball.
Yeah.
And it just drive me crazy.
The bump.
Where McEnroe would serve and volley and run to the net, he was like a stiletto.
Yeah.
He'd cut you apart. I loved how McEnroe played.
He pretty much changed the game by he always went to the net and did the serve volley. That was his game.
And then Lindell came on. Lindell finally figured out a way to beat him, and then Lindell became king, and then it just kind of jumped. I thought Borg retired tomorrow, so maybe it's a 2-day event.
Well, if he was in Europe and retired, it would be tomorrow here possibly. Maybe it's time change. I don't know. I'm just saying that was on the list.
Sure.
424. If you just joined us, we got an let's do your funny update in a second. First of all, a quick newsy update, because we like to have you newsy things. The United States Supreme Court has gone liberal and doesn't care about America anymore, and believes we should have all the immigrants possible should come in and take all of our homes, and that we should allow them to stay with us and give them our cars.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beginning step of that, what the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 today to allow the federal agents to take down the barbed wire that the state of Texas put up on the border. Governor Abbott of Texas put the barbed wire up there to keep the illegals out, and they sued, the Biden administration sued, and the Supreme Court, 5-4, said, you can't do that. Texas cannot protect your own border. It's got to be a federal thing.
Defy them.
Yeah.
See what they'll do.
Yeah. Justice Roberts, of course, was the deciding vote. But the others who voted no were Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh in the dissent. Amy Coney Barrett, a Trump appointee, voted to tear down the barbed wire.
Make Biden send federal troops down there in an overwhelming show of force to force a state to do something that leaves our border open for an invasion.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the optics of that.
Yeah.
Please, enforce their hand.
Yeah. Here we go. I mean, this is. I still believe that the court is going to rule in favor of the Donald Trump lawsuits, which they're filing, would allow him to be on the ballots in the states. I'm assuming. A couple of quick things that happened. Dexter King died of prostate cancer at the age of 62. He was 7 when his father, Martin Luther King Jr., was shot. Dexter King dead at 72, and a famous director.
Yeah.
In the news.
Norman Jewison has died at age 97. And they said, Fiddler on the Roof, which is a fantastic music. Moonstruck, which brought Cher back.
Great movie.
Nicolas Cage,
yeah.
Get over it.
Yes,
I love you. Get over it, slap. You know?
She got an Oscar for that.
Yeah. It helped her out. Then we're looking at some of the movies this guy did. He did The Cincinnati Kid, which was Steve McQueen, right?
Yeah.
Steve McQueen. He did The Russians Are Coming. A very funny movie with Alan Arkin and Carl Reiner. He did In the Heat of the Night.
Yeah, Sidney Poitier.
And who was the other? Rod Steiger.
Right, yeah.
What a great movie
that was a great movie.
God, it's a great movie.
Led to the TV series.
Yeah. The Thomas Crown Affair. The first one was Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
And Faye Dunaway, I believe.
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof. Jesus Christ Superstar. He did Rollerball with James Caan.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
It was a great one. He followed that up with a horrible movie, Fist, F-I-S-T, which was
Sylvester Stallone with a Union movie on the Teamsters or something.
This follow-up of Rocky.
Oh, God.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And Justice for All. I'm trying to think, who was in that?
Was that Pacino screaming about the judge and ready to commit suicide or something?
I'm out of order.
Yeah,
you're out of order. Yeah, I think that was it.
I think that was it. That was a good movie. A loud movie, very loud.
Yeah. A Soldier's Story, Agnes of God, Moonstruck, In Country, which I think was Bruce Willis, In Country about Vietnam. And let's see. And that was basically his last big one. But he produced The Dogs of War. Christopher Walken. You ever seen that? Mercenaries in Africa?
Yeah, no.
Whoa. That's a good movie. He's got that gun, it's almost like a Tommy gun with the round thing underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I had that Thompson submachine gun with a cylinder 50-round thing. I gave that to Wayne, no offense.
Yeah, you did. He's used it to kill many a person up there in Marietta.
I also gave him an AK-47, I think, and I gave him 2,000 rounds of ammo.
Holy cow.
Well, at the time, I had a whole bunch of extra guns I didn't need, and I thought he might get a kick out of them. Let's see. What time? It's 4:28 already. I can't believe it. Sports. A little bit of sports. Playoff over the weekend. And I mentioned this earlier, and I'll say it again. I was so touched. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was sweet, and I thought it was more than sweet. I thought it was a whole statement where Travis Kelce scored a touchdown in the game, and he knows his lady, Taylor Swift, is up in this suite watching all this stuff, and he scores a touchdown. And Travis Kelce turns around, he blows her a kiss, and he does the heart sign with his fingers to make the heart sign, which she's famous for, with her fans in the audience and stuff. And I'll tell you what.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah. So he's borrowed her thing.
He did the heart sign, the famous heart sign that they do when they want to say,
oh, did she invent that?
No, she didn't invent it, but I think she's well known. She does it.
I saw a photo of Katharine Hepburn when she was in her 20s with a short haircut.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like Taylor Swift. It's uncanny.
Really?
Uncanny.
I will find that.
I will find that. Yeah, and they're both very independent women.
Yeah.
Very brilliant business mind.
Yeah.
Very independent.
Yeah. Well, anyway, a lot of things at that particular game where the Chiefs beat the Bills. And, of course, they got hurled snowballs at them when they tried to get off the field.
Well, they were catching things in the end zone. You see them whizzing by.
Yeah.
Made me laugh.
Yes, sir. And he flashed her the signature heart gesture and the kiss. And she was all thrilled about it. By the way, she's bundled up in that designer jacket of that has his number on it and stuff. That thing costs $1,800. The varsity jacket that she was wearing.
All right, take a gander at that.
Oh, she does kind of look like her.
She looks like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she definitely has a resemblance.
In her 20s.
Yeah. We got so much. We'll talk a little about the games and the stuff and the love and the Tony Romo and the Chiefs. We got it all coming up. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, 4:30. Stand by. Flounders Founding's coming up, too.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis will be in a courtroom today, but it won't be trying a case. Willis, who has been alleged to having an affair with Nathan Wade, has been subpoenaed by Wade's ex-wife to testify in their divorce case. Willis filed an emergency motion for a protective order, but was denied when Jocelyn Wade submitted bank records showing Wade and Willis took multiple trips together during the investigation into the election interference case involving former President Donald Trump. Atlanta Hawks point guard Trae Young is out indefinitely after getting elbowed in the face Saturday night and was diagnosed with a concussion. Part of the NBA's concussion protocol, Young must show he is symptom-free before resuming basketball activities, and there's no timetable for the Stars' return. With your headlines, I'm Scott Rhino.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
You hear us talk a lot about the great products that Howard Brothers sells and supports, but the best thing about Howard Brothers is their people. They have folks who've been there for 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, and they wake up every morning excited to get to work to serve you. It's personal relationships that they build with their customers. You can't go to a big box store and be personally known like you are by the folks at Howard Brothers. It's nice to know that you are supporting a locally family-owned business that does so much for their employees and their community. Happy New Year from our friends at Howard Brothers.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled, and without any hesitation, answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911. Online at stopmyed.com.
It's 2024. Do you honestly think the government is looking out for you? Do they have your back? We have political chaos, global wars, no border protection, and our leadership telling you about pronouns and electric cars. It's time to take a hard look at protecting yourself and your family. It's time to visit the Oxford Gold Group. Call the Oxford Gold Group at 833-995-GOLD and order the investment guide or make a purchase of precious metals and get up to $2,500 in free gold. 833-995-GOLD.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcast every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
As Don McLean, of course. Rock and roll. Well, it's possible. That's all I got going for me.
You have to learn a lot more about it.
I better start studying. Otherwise, I'm freaking doomed. 4:36 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Don McLean on this day in 1972. Don McLean's album American Pie started a 7-week run at #1 in America. His second studio album, dedicated to Buddy Holly, one of his childhood icons, and featured both the chart-topping single American Pie and Vincent. I love that song, Vincent. I have it on my music stick, and I sing to it because it's a beautiful song. The repeat, I love the words of it, too. Like, what is it? The rose crushed in velvet on the driven snow.
It's a nice song.
It's a beautiful song.
It's better than American Pie.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Vincent's a really pretty song. The repeated phrase, the day the music died in American Pie, refers to the plane crash in 1959 that killed early rock and roll stars Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Ritchie Valens, ending the era of early rock and roll, really. And that became the popular nickname for that crash. What? The popular nickname? Oh, the day the music died, yeah. Sorry.
If only someone read the story before you went on the air with it.
But then I said, well, I forgot what they were talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, just said, hey, it's Monday. Get off my back.
We all think we know what's his face.
Ritchie Valens.
No, the other one.
Don McLean.
No, the big one.
The big Bopper.
No, the one we all know that I can't remember his name that you just said.
Little Richard.
No, the big one that died.
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
God.
I don't think because we know his 3 songs, his 3 hits. But I've been listening to some of the deeper cuts of stuff I'd never heard before. To me, they're better than the hits.
Oh, Buddy Holly?
The other songs he wrote are way ahead of the 1950s.
Yeah, but you're using modern day music judgment.
And it sounds like
50s,
something from the late...
a whole different big band era.
But he was so far ahead of his time with some of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
Actually, yeah, he's got a song. I got it right here. It's called Rave On.
Oh, we know that song. That was also a hit from somebody else, too.
No, you're thinking Leave On with Elton John.
No, Rave On was Rave On. Yeah, Rave On. I remember the song.
Well, I can't hear it because you're...
Sorry. Once
again, I can't hear it because you're... This isn't one I was thinking of, though, but it's pretty good. This is good.
This was a big song. Let's see. Oh, by the way, forget this business. Tell us about Kunta Kinte.
Well, he was a young black man.
Never mind that now.
That's not important right now.
Have you still got that story around?
I do have that story. I've got it right here in my head.
Tip of your head.
LeVar Burton, who was Kunta Kinte. My parents made us sit down and watch Roots from beginning to end.
I never
Everybody watched it.
Never missed it.
Everybody watched it. Chicken George and all that stuff. It made stars out of LeVar Burton, at least for a while. Then he got back on Star Trek. Next Generation became a star again. But anyway.
Lou Gossett was a huge...
Oh, my God. Lou Gossett Jr.?
He became Louis Gossett Jr. after that. Did you?
Good actor.
You know that?
Yeah, good actor. But Chuck Connors was... I mean, there's so many great stuff going on. Alex Haley wrote that. All right. So LeVar Burton went on that show with the guy who does the genealogy. He's a black professor. He's the one that went home in Boston that day. Remember when Obama was first
the Obama
elected?
thing, and the racial, have a beer with him later.
Beer
kinda,
thing, it was this guy, Henry whatever is his name. But anyway, he did this his show on PBS about genealogy, and he takes famous people, because that's all we care about is someone famous, where they came from, right? So and he goes way back. And as someone who's tried to go way back in my family's, it's extremely expensive.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And you can do almost as good a research if you have the time to do it as these so-called professionals.
Yeah, if you're
the
willing
professionals can get you copies of things maybe you couldn't find.
Yeah.
But I went back almost within a generation as far as they did. And I paid them a lot of money to do ours at one point.
Really?
So anyway, Kunta Kinte, LeVar Burton, decided to go back. He's a black man, if you don't know. He decided to go back and do this show.
Famous for Roots, the slavery thing.
Kunta
LeVar
Kinte.
Burton, the black guy, the slave, Kunta Kinte, and the forest holding up to the moon. Yeah.
Turns out, as my mother used to say, there was something in the woodpile, and it turned out to be a white man.
Uh-oh.
His great-great-grandfather not only was white, but was in the Confederate Army. And the look on his face.
Well, then I guess we have to dox him then. I mean, obviously.
He's not getting the full reparation check. No.
No, sir. You had a Confederate part white guy? Oh, I'm sorry. You're out.
No, you're here.
And we can no longer watch any of his movies. Obviously, he's a fake and a traitor to his cause. You know, the people, the black people. The people of color are the colored people.
I think he's actually, is he gay?
I think he's
I'm not
gay
sure.
and tranny. And,
no, he's not he's an actor.
Tranny and a
he has to be gay. He's an actor.
He's a
but
cat.
Still.
Man's a cat. He thinks he's a cat.
He identifies as a cat.
Dear God, 441.
This is all in jest. We don't mean this.
Ow. Send a message next time. What do you got in there, Flounder?
I pulled into a self-serve car wash. They had a big banner up. It said, under new management. So I pulled my car off into one of the slots, and I plugged my quarters in. And I was standing there, washing my car, thinking, this is much better than the old management. The other day, I called somebody Mrs., and she snapped at me. She goes, it's Miss. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I ever would have thought that somebody would have married you. My friend Michelle is stunningly beautiful. Wherever she goes, she's always the best looking person in the room. And I've often wondered what it would be like to feel that feeling. And last week I was in Reno, Nevada, and I got to find out.
Tough crowd. Go to some of the gambling casinos in Reno. You'll be.
Oh my God.
Oh, in fact, I've got a meme here on my phone. I did a couple of headlines, and one of them is a picture of Carmela Sidepiece, Vice President Shiftless and Lazy, as her guest appearance on The View, and it says, Carmela enjoys finally being smartest person in the room. This is a shot of Babylon Bee headline. Missionary travels to Joel Osteen's church to reach people who have never heard about Jesus.
Do you see where he just paid off?
He always talks about money.
He just paid off that massive auditorium. Wasn't it the former basketball arena or something? He just now paid it off.
Holy cow. By the way, another one, I just don't know where we went wrong, contemplates Sports Illustrated executive standing in front of framed covers of obese trans swimsuit models. I remember this story that this hit the news the other day. This hot bod woman says, she complains about the guys at the gym. I can't believe men are looking at me at the gym, says woman who went to the gym specifically so men would look at her at the gym. Anyway, I don't know.
You know our guy Anthony Jeselnik that we play all the time?
Yeah, I love that guy.
I was watching something the other night. He was being interviewed. He was a writer for Jimmy Fallon's show, The Tonight Show. And he says they just butted heads all the time.
Well, egos.
And he would try and come up with ideas that would make Jimmy mad. I don't know if he fired him or not, but suppose he came up with the idea, of an audience participation thing, to have the audience come up and hit a piñata. And Jimmy goes, okay. He goes, what's in it? He goes, blood. And he says, Jimmy just scowled at me, so I stared back at him. This went on for like 15 minutes where they just stared. While everyone else got uncomfortable, they just stared at each other. And finally, Giselle says, it doesn't have to be real blood.
I actually have him coming up next.
Oh, excellent. And who was that we just played? I didn't.
That was Bobby Tessel.
Bobby Tessel.
So he does a lot of the one-off, just kind of one-liners. So.
Yeah, very
Good
funny
stuff.
guy. Very funny guy. 4:40. Oh my God! It's almost 4:45 already. Holy cow! By the way, just for the record, you snart heads, I sent you the video of me going into my sugar pack of the blue ones.
I saw it.
At my counter.
I saw that too.
There you are. And so to prove to you that the penny's from heaven, and I'm telling you, now it's not 100 out of 100, but I'm telling you it's 97 or 98 times out of 100. I'll reach in there and I'll pull out 4 of them. My late brother Gene's favorite number 4 that I used to use also in Duke Snyder and all that stuff.
We're going to find out at some point that at the manufacturing process, they put them in there 4 at a time.
Well, they're all 4. They're stapled together. I stapled them all together 4 at a time. I put the video on Facebook and YouTube just to prove.
You have 4 fingers that you reach.
No, they don't. Oh my God! I knew you were going to turn on me. 4:45 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out. You know, it's amazing. Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage is the only person in the world who can determine when someone's going to die with a single phone call.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit and is designed to take you anywhere you want to go. Get yours today at Subaru of Gwinnett with 1.9% financing and discover the many reasons to love a 2024 Subaru Outback. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology for added safety. The convenience of available wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Tough, sophisticated styling and standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. This is your opportunity to get out there and go places in the 2024 Subaru Outback. Now available this month with incredible 1.9% financing at Subaru of Gwinnett. Adventure never looked so good. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Go to SubaruofGwinnett.com to learn more. That's SubaruofGwinnett.com. Subaru of Gwinnett in Duluth. More than a car dealer. On select models cannot be combined with any other offer. With approved credit. Well-qualified applicants only. Expires month end.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is defense attorney Lance LaRusso. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Get involved with Special Olympics Georgia today. Join Special Olympics Georgia for the 2024 State Indoor Winter Games in Cobb and surrounding areas, January 26th through 28th, and watch Georgia's champions compete in sports like basketball, powerlifting, bowling, floor hockey, and pickleball. Volunteer today and head to SpecialOlympicsGA.org and click on the volunteer link. Thank you to our statewide sponsors, volunteers, and fans that come out to support these amazing athletes.
Calling all aspiring tradespeople. Ready to master a new skill to boost your career? Introducing the Blue Collar Virtual Trade School. Learn from industry experts from the comfort of your own home. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical work, we've got you covered. Gain hands-on expertise through immersive virtual simulations and connect with instructors who have been in the field. Elevate your career potential. The Blue Collar Virtual Trade School, where future begins with a click. Visit thebluecollarvirtualtradeschool.com or call 678-916-6145.
Normally on the morning show, we talk to everyone, but right now I want to talk to business owners. Hey, it's Tug. Do you need $250,000 or more to fulfill a dream of growing your business? Buying a building, building a building, buying out your competition, or buying into a franchise? And look, all the banks, they're in turmoil right now. They're afraid to do anything or loan to anyone. That's why you need to consider my friends, the Frost family, at First Liberty Building and Loan. Go to firstlibertyga.com today. Fill out the simple form and see if you're a good fit for their program. See how they can help you, even in these crazy economic times, to grow your business. FirstLibertyGA.com. The Frost family have been helping businesses since the 90s. If you've got an opportunity, if you've got an idea, find out if First Liberty Building and Loan and the Frost family can help you achieve your goal. Make your dream come true. The banks aren't going to help, but now you have a secret weapon. The Frost family at First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Good marketing makes a company look smart. Great marketing makes a customer feel smart. The Marketing Madmen surround themselves with people that are smart. The Marketing Madmen is a network of themed shows that simplify and celebrate the madness of marketing with real-world advice, timely and meaningful interviews, and good old-fashioned hijinks. Everyone is marketing something, which means that we can talk about anything. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to Extra 106.3 to hear the Marketing Madmen, or look us up on Google, find us on your favorite podcast provider, search the Marketing Madmen, and please send your questions, send your comments. We're happy to talk to you.
More Beatles. The old Beatles, the Kimmer Beatles. It was 1969. And the Beatles moved from Twickenham Film Studios to Apple Studios in London to begin recording Get Back. Billy Preston was brought into the sessions. John, Paul, and George knew Billy Preston from 1962. This was 69 we're talking. They knew him from 62 when he was a member of Little Richard's backing group. The Beatles were determined to record the album live, flaws and all. It was 69. Oh, there you go.
Yep. In fact, John wanted him in the band, and Paul nixed that idea.
Really?
Yeah.
I just didn't want an outsider, or
didn't want to. They didn't
all
think
of a
they
sudden
needed
a new guy.
He didn't want Clapton in it. He didn't want anyone else in it.
Well, it turned out pretty good.
And by the way, you just got a call from Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, and they want you to stop referring to them as the Kimmer Beatles.
Well, it's we all kind of link together. I shall never forget. I want to hold your hand. Yeah. She loves me. Yeah. She loves me.
She loves you not. Yeah.
P.S. I love you. I did that for my starter wife, the one who actually did love me, my favorite ex-wife, and the first a bracelet I bought her when I was courting her was a bracelet and had a little thing on, and then I had at the end I had put P.S. I love you because of the Beatles.
Because of the Beatles
song. That's right. On this day, a birth date includes, I don't know this person, Orianthe. Orianthe is 39. She's an Australian musician. Her last name is Panagaris, and she tours with her ex-boyfriend, Richie Sambora. Huh. They met back when she was singing, it says, slinging her axe for Alice Cooper.
What?
It says they met back when she was slinging her axe, A-X-E, her hatchet axe for Alice Cooper. Slinging her axe is playing the guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't think I've ever heard that. Are you serious?
Your axe.
Slinging your axe is playing a guitar? I mean, it makes sense, but I've never heard that. And I used to play the guitar for about a month there. She was also the guitar player for Michael Jackson's This Is It concert series, which actually never got off the ground, for the record. Anyway. So I'll give her a name. Something like Orianthe.
No one's ever heard of her.
I never heard of her. And can I do another sports birthday?
Sure.
You're going to be mentioning Fidel Castro at all?
No, I am not.
On this day in 1951, Fidel Castro, since we were going the way of Cuba, we just talk about the Supreme Court decision here in just a second. Supreme Court decision leading to 1951, Fidel Castro was ejected from a baseball game, a winter baseball game, after he hit a batter deliberately. That was 51. Not long after, Fidel Castro gave up baseball for politics and the blueprint for today's Democrat Party.
Did you? How history would have changed had he been signed by a major league team?
Right. That never would have happened.
Never would have been in politics.
And Batista, who knows what anything could have gone. Yeah. And by the way, speaking of that, if you mentioned a thing about Castro joking around with the thing there, Supreme Court today ruled 5-4 that the federal government has the right to take down the Texas barbed wire to block immigrants from sneaking in. Texas put up the border wall because no one else was doing it. The Biden president showers her daughter sued, and the Supreme Court today 5-4 ruled that the Bidens win, and they have to take down the barbed wire. Now the union is ticked off. The
Border Patrol union.
Yeah, Border Patrol union is which is another good example of the split in the Democrat Party. I mean, these people don't know what they're. I mean, it's all coming apart. I hope. And by the way, if you know the show Pawn Stars. And I haven't watched it. I used to watch a little bit. I always enjoyed it, just to see what things are worth and people's stories, stuff like that. It's kind of a fun show. Well, the personality, Rick Harrison, the bald guy who kind of does it all, his son, Adam, was 39 years old when he just died from a fentanyl drug overdose. And his dad, Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars, says the fentanyl crisis in this country must be taken more seriously. It seems it's flowing over the borders. Nothing's being done about it. We must do better. And he blames the border crisis and the administration of Joe crime family with the death of his 39-year-old son.
I say call their bluff. Make the Biden send federal troops down there to open up the border to an invasion.
Right.
And show the federal troops holding that border open so they can cross over.
In. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, please, let's see that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we got a phone call from David.
David's on the phone. David, you're on the radio, man. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
I have something that ties together two of the topics you discussed, the Beatles and Buddy Holly.
Yes, sir.
First of all, the Beatles love Buddy Holly, and their name, the Beatles, came from a couple of things. One is like the Beat movement, but the other is they modeled their name after the Crickets, which was Buddy Holly's
Buddy Holly
band.
and the Crickets, yeah.
And Buddy Holly's band got their name from a cricket in the recording studio that they never could find and eliminate, so it's in the background of some of the songs. And the song that you mentioned, P.S. I Love You, was a song that was a subtle nod to Buddy Holly's big hit, Peggy Sue, as in P.S., Peggy Sue, I Love You.
Yeah, I'll be darned. And then you could flip Peggy Sue over on her back and play All Day. The name of the song on the other side of the record was All Day, so it was kind of a Buddy Holly.
No, it was Every Day.
Every day. They play every day. That's what it was. You can play every day. Flip little Susie over and play every day. That's what I was. Oh, mercy. Well, listen, thanks, David. Are you like a music guy or a music historian, or how do you know all this stuff?
Yeah, I used to work for a music magazine. I used to art direct a music magazine in New York, a trade magazine called Record World.
No kidding.
You've called him before.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah,
he's called before. He had the Italian restaurant.
That's right. Is that you? That's the same guy, right?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, the last time I called, Pete wanted me to do the toast for his wedding, so it scared me away.
What?
What?
Pete getting married, a toast for his wedding? Wow, we got breaking
I didn't
news.
Understand when you said it then. Explain.
No. I was rambling on and on and on, and Pete said, "Oh, remind me not to ask him to do the toast."
Toast at my wedding.
Okay.
There you go.
This is news to me.
Wrap it up.
This is news to me here. I what?
The bride's falling asleep.
That was the Elvis Costello remark.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be darned. Well, that's a great story, David. I appreciate it. I'll bet you got a whole slew of stories about musicians and stars and
absolutely.
Oh my Lord! Well, we need to get you in here one of these days and just do like a music thing about stars and stuff from the past, just to fool around for an hour. Would you be willing to do that with us?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh my God!
We got top men on that.
When we get done, don't hang up. And Flounder, if you could get his name, and this would be fun. We'll do that like on a Friday or something for an hour, goofing around, or whenever you're available. I don't. Are you still working?
Yeah.
Are you retired, or are you available, or what's the deal?
No, I'm still doing graphics and illustration. Oh, I did your Pod Boys.
The Pod Boys. Oh, sure. Absolutely. Outstanding. Well, listen, this will be great, David. Again, hold on, and Flounder will get your number, and I think we probably already have it, but anyway, we'll get it, and we'll get you in here. That'll be fun. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Outstanding.
Did you know it's bad luck to kill a cricket in your house? It's bad luck. You capture it and take it outside.
Oh, no, why is that?
It's just bad luck to kill a cricket.
I'd never heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Any other bug? Just crickets?
Just a cricket.
Really? Are you serious?
I'm serious. It's bad luck. I think it's a Chinese thing.
I'll be damned.
And one of my favorite books as a kid was The Cricket in Times Square, one of the great kid books of all time.
Well, I've never heard that either.
You've never seen a cricket in Times Square? Never seen that book?
Never seen the book.
Wow.
Again, I'm...
How Flounder? Did you ever read that book when you were a kid?
I did not.
Wow.
Well, coming up, more wow stuff.
How about The Mouse and the Motorcycle? Did you read that?
Yes, that was a summer reading assignment.
Yeah, Mouse and the Motorcycle.
My God.
Good stuff.
Almost 5 o'clock with a Repeat and Flounder, and sports coming up more later, too. Look out.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
She's in it for the long haul. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from Nikki Haley, now in a head-to-head matchup with former President Trump for the Republican nomination.
This is not personal for me. I don't dislike him. This is about the fact that I don't want my kids to live like this. We can't continue to have this division. We can't continue to be distracted. We can't continue to have this chaotic feeling around us. We've got to get this done.
Haley also telling Fox News voters want a new direction and don't care about the polls, which show a double-digit lead for Trump in tomorrow's New Hampshire primary. A reminder, Fox News Radio will provide special primary coverage beginning at 6:06 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. Listen here or go to foxnewsradio.com for more. President Biden is skipping New Hampshire after the Democratic Party changed its primary calendar, bumping South Carolina to the top. But there is an unofficial write-in campaign and now an investigation into a suspected voter suppression tactic using artificial intelligence to fake the president's voice.
It's important that you save your vote for the November election.
What you just heard is not President Joe Biden, but an AI-generated impression. No one knows who's behind it, but the language is aimed at suppressing turnout.
Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again.
Mimicking the president down to the phrase,
"What a bunch of malarkey."
President Biden is not on the New Hampshire ballot, but someone who is helping a write-in campaign for him says it's been falsely linked to her cell number.
Fox's Gernal Scott, the New Hampshire Attorney General, is investigating. The White House confirming President Biden did not record that message. Just getting word of more joint airstrikes by U.S. and British warplanes on Houthi missile sites in Yemen, where the Iran-backed rebels have continued to launch attacks on ships in the Red Sea, despite a previous round of joint airstrikes and additional strikes by the U.S. America is listening to Fox News.
You know, our friends at Henry Repeating Arms, they manufacture a line of very high quality rifles, shotguns, and revolvers that you can be very proud to own. Now, they're made in America with parts and materials also from America. Now, they use old world craftsmanship combined with cutting edge technology to deliver reliable and accuracy that you can trust in any situation. Now, they're easy to use and maintain. It makes them an excellent choice for both a novice and experienced shooter. Henry has over 200 models, so you can find the firearm that's right for you. There's also new releases all throughout the year, and every purchase is backed by their lifetime warranty and the company's owner. Anthony Imperato also gives his personal guarantee for 100% satisfaction. Now, make sure you go to their website, henryusa.com, order their free catalog. They'll send you free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog, free decals, and a list of dealers where you are. You're going to love this company and these firearms like I do.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on your dog. Target. Road guards out. Look out. 5:03, and it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls on 106.3. Here's a phone number if you want to join us, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. A bunch of things in the news. If you're following the news, you know Dexter King Jr. Actually, he's not a junior, I beg your pardon. Dexter King died, the son of Martin Luther King Jr. Dexter King was 62 years old. He was the youngest son of Martin Luther King Jr. in Coretta. 62, died of prostate cancer in California. Also, Norman Jewison, the famous director, died at 97. We just talked about many of the movies that he had done with Sidney Poitier with
In the Heat of the Night.
Heat of the Night and
Fiddler on the Roof.
Millions. Just a really, really big guy. Also, the judge has ruled in the Fulton County case of Fanny the Floozy from Fulton that she does not have to be deposed, at least not yet, in the divorce case of her side piece, the attorney that she hired, even though he wasn't qualified to be part of the investigation into the RICO acts supposedly by Donald Trump and his friends. And so they put him on the payroll for almost $700,000. And so the judge is going to open the court records of the divorce proceedings. Fanny sealed it, even though she has no right to seal it. The Fulton Floozy didn't want anybody to know what's in the divorce proceedings of her side piece. So, and the judge says, "No, you don't get to do that. You know, I mean, I'm unsealing the records, but you don't have to testify because we'll just." The lawyer, one of Donald Trump's friends, the lawyer of one of Donald Trump's co-defendants, was behind all the suing us to try to get Fannie Willis's deposition public, to show that she was, on doing things on the side, that the whole prosecution ought to be thrown out, that it was all illegal and based on all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so that was where it started. And the judges said, well, no, she doesn't have to testify, yes, because the judge says, I'll just ask the guy. One of the complaints was that the Trump people and lawyers wanted to know where all the money came from and whether she was using tax money to support her boyfriend, her side piece, who was cheating on his wife with her at the time. And now, would that make him the cuckold or the cuckoldess? I'm not sure. It's the Joe Biden.
Neither one of them are a cuckold. The person who got cheated on. And I don't think a woman could be a cuckold.
I don't know. Jill Biden's probably the most famous one, but I cheated on her.
No, she's not a cuckold. No, her husband was the cuckold.
Her husband was, anyway. So they're going to have this all go into court, but she doesn't have to testify yet, but they're going to open the proceedings, and the judge is going to say, were you violating his marital, responsibilities with this guy, and where'd the money come from? So that, that's going to come out. So that's another one of our breaking stories. Also, the politics of the Ron DeSantis giving up, and Nikki Haley, you just heard here a minute ago, holy smokes, she's just getting nastier and nastier by the hour. I mean, what is she going to prove?
What is she trying to do? She's proven to Vivek Wright that she was just a scaly biatch.
Yeah. Well, now here's the thing. The South Carolina primary, she was former governor, it's not next week. I think it's next month. Well, next month is next week. But today's what, the 22nd?
22nd.
So in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, the primary in South Carolina. So obviously, she's going to have to stay in the race in that, because even though she's going to lose, she can't possibly say, well, I'll give up before my own home state, even though it's got to be embarrassing for her because she's not going to win South Carolina. I bet.
Probably not. Not at this point, no.
So, but anyway, after that, she's going to have to drop out. There'd be no sense in keeping on. DeSantis was killing her in the polls, and he had to drop out. I mean, come on, Nikki. What are you kidding?
Is she going to be? They were talking earlier on Clay and Buck about her being maybe Secretary of State or something like that. She reminds me more and more of Hillary.
Yeah. Well, you need a snot as Secretary of State to stand up to all the sheiks and stuff.
But will she stand up to him, because she wants open border basically, and she's very soft on that.
I don't think she's going to get a place in the administration. I really don't think he likes her. And
who does?
I think there are too many people to just say I just don't like her. I don't want to work with her. I don't want to be with her. But I don't know. And plus, although she is a little on the trampy side,
we don't know that for sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Kind of softens her image a little bit.
It does. Well, I can't get over the deposition where one of her lovers said, oh, yeah, we used to get into her Cadillac SUV and put the seats back so she could hop on my lap.
Hop on pop.
I'm trying to get rid of the vision of Nikki Haley.
Flound, isn't that another children's book? Hop on pop?
Hop on pop.
as well as hop off Bob. I mean,
yeah. Oh, mercy. Anyway, 508. So there's that little politics stuff going on here in the news as well. And then, what's the matter?
I had that when we were kids. It's a Dr. Seuss, Hop on Pop.
Oh, there is a Hop on Pop. I'll be damned. Well, I thought you were making it up. Nope. There's a Dr. Seuss Hop on Pop. My goodness. In North Carolina Middle School, mirror, mirror on the wall, where are you? Yes, in North Carolina, they didn't exactly say what the incident was that led to it on TikTok, but apparently because of TikTok. The Burlington Alamance School System Middle School in Graham, North Carolina, has taken away the mirrors in the bathrooms. No more mirrors. The official said students were going to the bathroom for long periods of time and making TikTok things in the bathroom. Now, one of those I know they used to do where they would have the kids actually stealing stuff in the bathroom, stealing all the faucets and all the thing, writing things on the wall. I mean, there were TikTok challenges that unless you're on TikTok, you don't know about them. And families probably don't know about these unless they're checking their kids' phones to see whether they're on TikTok, which should be banned, by the way. Anyway, now the school says these kids are coming in 9 or 10 times a day. And since they removed the mirrors so they can't do any TikTok challenges, they stopped going to the bathroom all the time. They're not staying there very much. They're held accountable. And they're now also using it as a learning experience, trying to teach kids about digital citizenship.
What?
Well, we're at that stage. I mean, it's true. Digital citizenship.
What's that?
They are like we all have cell phones. We have to learn to use them, they say. We have to learn when to put them down. The school is implementing Smart Pass, a digital hall pass, which officials say allows students to check in and out of class, enabling staff to better track where the students are at all times for their safety and accountability. Limit distractions so students can focus on learning. They're alarmed about how TikTok is indoctrinating America's youth, warning that Gen Z in particular is extremely active and being manipulated by Chinese propaganda, growing addicted to the platform's mindless scrolling, internalizing information they believe to be true. If you're on TikTok all day long and you're reading all the stuff on TikTok, you're reading all the stuff on TikTok.
And kids, you can get your mindless scrolling on Facebook, Instagram. You don't need to go to China for it.
Or the Kimmer Show, for example. I mean, we can do it for you right here, 3 to 6. Don't have to pay a damn dime.
How about this? How about when you walk into the classroom, everybody puts their phone, turns it off, and puts it in a bucket.
Yeah.
And then when you leave, that way if someone breaks in and starts shooting or something, the phones are there.
Phone. Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree.
The kid doesn't need a phone at their desk.
I agree.
They wouldn't even let us have calculator, Texas Instrument calculators.
Right. Well, and now the argument is, in fact, I've got a little thing on TikTok here. I was going to do it later. I'll do it right now. 2 things. I saw an ad on TV. I forgot whether it was on the football game or whatever. An ad on TV of a nun. Sister Mary Rottenfingers, whatever her name was, on TikTok, and they called it Nun Talk. N-U-N, not TikTok, but Nun Talk. Yeah. She's a nun in the nun habit, in the outfit, and she's saying, oh, yes, we have so much fun showing people the way to spirituality. We're teaching people how to pray. We answer questions about faith. It's so wonderful. We're all connecting now to a higher power. It's Nun Talk on TikTok. Once again, TikTok bringing wonderfulness to people around the world. Another example of TikTok advertising. After all this stuff about TikTok, and the more we do it, the more they advertise about how wonderful it is. Now they're using the freaking nun who has a show on TikTok.
I never remember. We played, the Falcons played Green Bay. We stayed in Appleton. That's where I always stayed, Appleton, Wisconsin. So I got my little hotel room, turned on the TV, and the only channel on was this nun like 90 years old, lecturing people about going to hell if they don't change their ways. I called Jeff Hodge. You got to turn on the TV. You're not going to believe this.
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Anyway, and that's TikTok. Ads now with nuns doing shows on TikTok to show how wonderful TikTok is for world peace.
And why would the church allow her to do that if it's obvious it's a Chinese spy?
Communication.
They've been run out. We're not kidding about it. They've been run out of other countries because it's a spy network.
The state of Montana's banned TikTok.
We're not making it up.
Yeah.
Quit letting your kid have it.
Florida says no cell phone use during instructional time in schools, and Montana says no TikTok, period.
My dad tried to teach me that, what's that thing, that slide rule. tried to teach me, and I kept saying, "No, I'll learn it later." He goes, "One day you're going to have to learn it." And then before I had to learn it, they let us use the calculator.
I say, like Robert sent the a meme saying, you should meet people the old-fashioned way, through alcohol and poor judgment. There, ta-da! Speaking of alcohol and poor judgment, Holy Crap at Sports is next at 5:13. Look out.
If you love news and talk, you have to connect with the biggest personalities in the South at thepodcastpark.com. It's more original Atlanta content from Atlanta's hometown talk crew. From legal news to sports and politics, and even archives of interviews from years past. Find the podcast that you love and subscribe everywhere you get podcasts.
Stop dreaming. Start driving. Get the gift that keeps on giving with the RBM of Atlanta's Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event. Each of our certified pre-owned vehicles undergoes an exhaustive process of analysis, inspection, and reconditioning until it meets the uncompromising standards of RBM of Atlanta and Mercedes-Benz. For a limited time, get special financing from as low as 3.39% APR. In addition, you'll receive unlimited confidence with Mercedes-Benz's unlimited mileage warranty, delivering continued assurance for up to 7 years. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details and see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Not all offers apply to all vehicles, and special financing available to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Services through January 31st, 2024. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call 770-390-0700 for details.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Diaz and Gaeta.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, I'm Giovanni Diaz.
And I'm Zach Gaeta. We have been in practice for 11 years and have 6 attorneys on staff. Our practices offer personal injury, immigration, and criminal defense. We are located right here in Cobb County. Check out our website at dglawga.com and set up a free consultation.
We believe legal help should be accessible and affordable for everyone. The first consultation is always free and directly with one of our attorneys, and we maintain contact with our clients. We do not build walls between clients and attorneys. I assure you, Attorney Diaz and Gaeta will be working on your case and walking through the entire process.
Our team is always looking for opportunities to serve the community. We are open to participating with nonprofit and community organizations. That's why our relationship with Our Town Monthly is important to us.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you and the entire team at Diaz and Gaeta. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
A new Braves season is around the corner, and tickets are on sale. The Braves' home schedule is jam-packed with great matchups, including the Texas Rangers in April, Red Sox in May, and Phillies in July. Plus, you better get your tickets now for when Shohei and the Dodgers head to Truist Park in September. 2024 will also be more amazing gate giveaways, like the Ronald Acuna Jr. bobblehead trio commemorating his record-breaking season. Replica chain giveaways featuring Michael Harris II and Orlando Arcia, a City Connect replica jersey, and the list goes on. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of the amazing giveaways throughout the season. season and purchase your tickets. And fan favorite specialty ticket packages are back in 2024, including the Military Appreciation, Father's Day Catch on the Field, Star Wars, and more. Visit Braves.com/packages to see these special packages and the exclusive items that come along with your game ticket. Atlanta Braves baseball for the A.
Meet Harper, teammate at Truist. Hello. She was born to care and always had your back. Like the time her friend's bumper car took a gnarly hit.
Oh no!
His retainer went flying, but Harper caught it before it got crushed. Today, Harper's a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking. With no overdraft fees, a $100 negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, Truist One checking has your back too. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. $100 negative balance buffer. Eligibility requirements apply. Truist Bank member FDIC.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Oh, look out. I don't care what you say. I thought Travis Kelce doing the heart and the kiss to his little sweet lady up in the booth was fantastic. And by the way, when his brother took off his shirt and showed his bare chest, his daughter said, "Daddy's boobs are showing." Hey, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Wait to hear what his wife had to say about that. Anyway, we start off with news that broke about an hour or so ago. The Cubs Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg has prostate cancer.
Wow.
The metastatic type or whatever it's called, which doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So say some prayers for Ryne Sandberg out there. So that's not good.
62, I think you said.
64 or
maybe?
something like that.
Yeah.
64. Well, the NFL championship games are set for this coming Sunday. In the AFC, it'll be Taylor Swift against Francis Scott Key. In the NFC, it's Smokey Robinson against the Grateful Dead. That's Kansas City visiting Baltimore, Detroit at San Francisco, actually Santa Clara, since the 49ers don't play anywhere near San Francisco anymore. It's like, it literally as if the Falcons decided to build a stadium in Carrollton.
Yeah, it's not close.
No. The Packers had that game in the bag, but let the Niners hang around until Brock Purdy finally stopped sucking long enough to win it. Jordan Love picked the wrong time to channel his inner Desmond Ritter. Gee, I think I'll throw across the middle against my body to end the game here. And poor Buffalo, talk about a long, hard winter ahead for those poor, pitiful folks.
The game on the line, he will. 44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it. Wide right. Wow. The two most dreaded words in Buffalo.
Jim Nance of CBS. That's right. Remember that first Super Bowl.
Wide right.
I was up in New York City with my dad. We're in a hotel room watching Buffalo lose that to the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Jeff Hostetler was the quarterback for the Giants, and he missed that. Was Scott something was the kicker, and he missed that sucker wide right, and it's been downhill ever since for poor Buffalo. And by the way, Josh Allen, it looks like he's the new Jim Kelly. He'll get them right there, and then he makes mistakes. In fact, let's talk about this. Instead of methodically driving down the field at home, scoring with little time left for the miracle man Patrick Mahomes to mount the comeback, which he's so famous for and has done against them before, Bills quarterback Josh Allen decided to loft two long passes to the end zone and both incomplete. That first one, Diggs was wide open, and they said, well, he kind of got hit. He didn't get hit. He got a little pressure on him, and he threw it short. But then again, if he had scored, that would have given Mahomes well over a minute.
Yeah.
And we've seen him come back in with, 20 seconds in the past and do that? So there's no way. Many times you've lost to Kansas City to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You can't score and give him time left. Yeah. You have to do short passes all the way down. Instead, he threw two passes, long passes, both of them incomplete, and the game was. And then the guy missed the field goal.
Yeah. Brutal.
So, lots of bad coaching decisions by the Buffalo staff, and that he went for it on fourth, and was it a fake punt earlier or something? He went for it on his own side of the field. It was just dumb decisions on that. Some Bills fans threw snowballs at the Chiefs players.
Yeah, boy.
One KC player claims they turned the hot water off in the showers after the game.
Oh, really?
And they said it's impossible. We can't do that. I'm sure they did it. Travis Kelce's brother Jason tore his shirt off. He jumped out of the suite and into the crowd in Buffalo, lifted one little girl up to meet Taylor Swift.
I heard about that. He saw there's a little girl there, had a sign, "I love you, Taylor," or something, and he left the booth and went to her and held her up. I imagine if her family must have been going nuts.
Because he's drunk.
The drunk guy with no shirt on all of a sudden grabs their little 9-year-old daughter
and leaves with her.
And hoists her up in the air to go see Taylor Swift in the booth. I mean, pretty cool, but, wow.
But when Jason's wife, Kelsey, saw what her man was doing, I don't know if she was in the booth or she called the booth, but she got a hold of Patrick.
I think she was home.
She called Patrick Mahomes' father. And you see him leaning out of the suite. And he says, Kelsey called, tells you to get your ass back in the suite.
And she was home with her daughter and said, Daddy's boobs are showing.
Get your butt back in here.
Oh, mercy.
And did Todd Bowles, head coach of the Buccaneers, give up on his team yesterday?
What do you mean?
He basically quit. He had one timeout left in his pocket. They're down by 8. And he basically just said, just let it run out. Let the minute or so time run out because they're going to kick a field goal, blah, 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 whatever.
I'm trying to remember what
there was a chance for a miracle. It would have been a miracle.
Yeah.
But there was a chance. Do you give up on your team in the playoffs?
No, I don't know why I didn't catch. I don't remember that.
I think you played the entire 60 minutes. Even unless you're down like 25.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Something like that. Only 8 points was the difference on that. It's been 2011 since we had an AFC title game without Mahomes or Tom Brady. Who were the quarterbacks of that game? If you want a hint, I'll give you a hint.
All right.
The teams, the Jets, and the Steelers.
Roethlisberger.
Very good, very good.
And
I'll give you another hint.
The Jets. Oh, man. I don't know much about
2 words. Butt fumble.
Oh, yeah. The guy from who left college early and his coach didn't want him to, from USC. And his coach said, no, I don't want you to go to the pros yet. And so he did anyway. And that was the guy. The little kid from California.
Guy with the face?
What's that?
The guy with the face?
Yeah, the guy with the face.
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. And his coach told him he didn't want him. Remember that? That was a big issue.
Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll said, you're making a mistake. But
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a big thing. And in fact, we were sitting together, and Pete Carroll said, well, I've told you privately, and I'll say publicly, I think you're making I wish you wouldn't do it. I wish you would stay here and take another year. But if you're going, I hope you do great, and I support you, but I wish you'd stay another year. And he told me, really wish you'd stay in college.
Worked out for a year or two, and then it
was
quickly went away.
Yeah.
We don't know who the next Falcons victim will be, but we do know who will not be the defensive coordinator next season.
No.
Because the Jaguars are set to hire Ryan Nielsen as their new DC.
Wow.
Which is a loss because I think he did a pretty good job. Let's see. He was 1 year with the DC with the Falcons. Really improved. They were in the top 10 in the NFL in passing, third down, and red zone defense, third and third down defense, and fourth in red zone defense. They also doubled their sack total, going from 21 to 42.
That's a great trend there.
I'd say that he's a pretty good DC, at least for 1 year there. One of the best breaking balls you'll ever see in the major leagues is taking his baseball and going home. Former Braves reliever Colin McHugh announced his retirement today on his Instagram account. Had an 11-year career in the majors, spent the last 2 with Atlanta. They declined a club option on his contract for this season coming up. McHugh had an interesting path to the majors. He played college ball at Berry College in Rome. Up here in Rome, Georgia.
Cool. Yeah.
Drafted in the 18th round by the Mets. And 2 seasons here, 99 games, a 3.38 ERA, and really never got to really show what he did in Houston because he had arm troubles and everything, but some kind of trouble. But he was a really good relief pitcher there for quite a long time. Hawks guard Trae Young diagnosed with a concussion after leaving Saturday's loss to the Cavaliers. Let's see. He got hit with an elbow from the Cavs' Isaac Okoro in the face.
Oh, yeah.
That's not good there. It says it was inadvertent.
Oh, yeah.
All right. No timetable for his return. He's got to go through the concussion protocol. By the way, huge rumors going around. The Hawks are going to make a huge trade.
Really?
They're thinking maybe DeJounte Murray, but I wouldn't be surprised
I don't know who that
if
is.
it means anybody else on that team goes too.
Wow.
DeJounte Murray, he's like
I don't know who that is.
he's like the second best guy on the team. Depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, I don't follow him.
Trae Young is averaging almost 27 points a game and is second in the league with almost 11 assists per game. You can get something for him, but I don't know if they'll do that. Transgender golfer Haley Davidson, a man mentally ill, in my opinion, recently won a women's tournament on the Next Women's Tour in XXT. Next. So organizers have decided to poll the real female golfers about this. But isn't that what got us into trouble in the first place? All this polling of the female golfers.
Make up your mind.
Come on. Let's leave the polls out of this.
Thank you.
And on this date in 2021, we lost Hammer and Hank Aaron, 86 years old.
Oh, my goodness. 3 years ago. Seems like it was longer ago.
It does seem like longer, doesn't it?
Wow, it seems so way longer ago than only 3 years. Are you serious?
We're going to look back, or people younger than us are going to look back at those COVID years, those 2-3 years, and that's going to elongate or shorten for some people. It's going to be really weird, those years.
Wow, that's we're just going through an example of it. I mean, I'm a little flabbergasted, really, because I can't believe it. That seems like 15 years ago.
Well, it's like we joke about some sci-fi show from 30 years ago. Star Trek. Then they go
2020.
No, that wasn't. No.
Wow. Let's see. 5:29. A couple of quick sports things here, Pete, if you don't mind, sir. 1973. Joe Frazier lost for the first time in his boxing career. 1973. Frazier had been the undefeated heavyweight champ for 3 years since he knocked out Jimmy Ellis, the guy who beat him in 73. George Foreman. Down goes Frazier. In 2012, in this day, Joe Paterno dies in disgrace at age 85. Papa Joe let a child molester get away with it. Long time at the University of Pennsylvania. Got caught and had to quit.
No.
What's that?
Don't besmirch the Ivy League Penn for Penn State. That's two different colleges. You said the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh no, that's the Joe Biden corruption Chinese influence university. The Ivy League, the University of Pennsylvania. That's with Wharton School. Yeah, that's the Joe Biden take money from the Chinese, communist Chinese, to have their own special research for. That's University of Pennsylvania. My mistake.
But not pedophiles.
Not pedophiles. No. The pedophiles are Penn State Nittany Lions.
State Pitt.
It's my own fault. 5:30. Cameron, Pete, and Flounder. Flounders Funny's coming up. We got stuff and news and baby names and. The guy who made the mistake of trying to show off at his entrance to the business meeting, I'll never do that again. Coming up with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis will be in a courtroom today, but it won't be trying a case. Willis, who has been alleged to having an affair with Nathan Wade, has been subpoenaed by Wade's ex-wife to testify in their divorce case. Willis filed an emergency motion for a protective order, but was denied when Jocelyn Wade submitted bank records showing Wade and Willis took multiple trips together during the investigation into the election interference case involving former President Donald Trump. Atlanta Hawks point guard Trae Young is out indefinitely after getting elbowed in the face Saturday night and was diagnosed with a concussion. Part of the NBA's concussion protocol, Young must show he is symptom-free before resuming basketball activities, and there's no timetable for the Stars' return. With your headlines, I'm Scott Rhino.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
You've been listening to Ray Giudice for years. He's a smart guy. You know he knows DUI and criminal law. He's been in practice for over 30 years. But did you know Ray knows some of the best legal minds in the business? From labor contracts to real estate to divorce. Ray can help you through it all. He can put together the legal team you need. He's the guy you call when you've got legal questions. So call him at 404-964-4185. Ray Giudice. 404-964-4185.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. They have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Atlanta area attorneys. 404-793-0000. 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Suite 975, Atlanta, Georgia 30328. CordellCordell.com.
Jim the Arcus here with exciting news.
The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
The engagement ring that started your story. The wedding band that commemorates that special day. The diamond tennis bracelet for your first anniversary. The beautiful earrings with your first child's birthstone. Some of your life's best moments were celebrated with the help of Solomon Brothers Jewelers. No matter the occasion, we've been there for all of them. From weddings and birthdays to anniversaries and graduations. Nothing says I love you more than a beautiful piece of fine jewelry from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. What's your next special occasion? Celebrate it with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings, necklace, bracelet, watch, or a ring from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. See rings and styles you've never seen before at prices you've never seen before. And don't forget, we also offer jewelry cleaning and repair. Life's greatest moments are meant to be cherished, and no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead or Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta. Online at SolomonBrothers.com and on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Where the monkeys are, eh? And monkey around. Well, again, they were not a singing group. They were actors hired to be a singing group on TV, and it worked. The Monkees. On this day, 1967, the Monkees performed live for the very first time at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. It was a sellout crowd. And they were, a huge TV show forever, and that's why they were formed. They were not a singing group. Pretty cool. And they did a great job with it, too.
I love that show.
Peter Tork or something. I mean, he was. They were at a couple of musicians, but
Mike Nesmith was a musician.
Yeah. Let's see. Birthdays, speaking of musicians, Teddy Gentry from Alabama is 72 today, not from the state, from the group. And, we mentioned, of course, the anniversary 50 years ago in 1973, Supreme Court Roe versus Wade. And then exactly 20 years later, in 1993, on this very day, the 20th anniversary of Roe versus Wade, President scumbag Clinton lifted a series of abortion restrictions on U.S. funding to non-government organizations. So Clinton lifted the abortion restrictions that had been imposed by his Republican predecessors. And then exactly 8 years later, President Bush II reinstated the policies that Clinton lifted. And then Obama lifted them again in 2009, and then Trump reinstated them in 2017, and Biden repealed them again in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't even, God. Again, the government of the United States should have nothing to do with abortion. Mm-hmm. It's a state issue. And ladies, there are states that allow you to get abortions. So if you want an abortion, you can have one. It's not a political issue. It's not. Donald Trump is not stopping you from having an abortion. You can have all you want. I mean, seriously, you can definitely. You may have to drive a couple hours. You may have to take a plane.
Put a little trouble effort into it.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You're killing me here with this stuff.
Well, that's not all they're killing.
It's not a political. Well, again, even aside from that, and again, I mean, it's a question of faith. Is it justifiable homicide? Is this a God thing? I mean, there's a whole way, and nobody knows until you find out. I mean, how are we supposed to figure that stuff out?
I don't know, but Millennial Fuddy Dud is on, and he wants to talk to you about Taylor Swift.
Okay, Millennial Fuddy Dud, you're on the radio with another Fuddy Dud for the Kimmer. How's it going, man? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer. I called in about 7 years ago.
I remember.
Back when Snoop Dogg had made it like some kind of threat online against Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I called him a hater, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I don't mean to hate on Taylor Swift, and I don't want to take anything away from you if you're enjoying the Taylor Swift thing.
Yes.
I think it's kind of obvious that this is all just to gain a bigger fan base for the NFL. They're just tapping into the preteen girls.
Really? Well, again, that certainly, well, I would say a couple of months ago, I think that was the overwhelming explanation for what's going on, because everybody was talking about it. In fact, did you notice on the game, when he did the heart sign and blew the kiss, the announcers never mentioned it. It showed up later in the video in a promo, but the announcing crew, Jim Nance or the weather guy, they never said a word. Because they were afraid to, because they were getting feedback saying people are sick and tired of seeing Taylor Swift and da-da-da-da-da. So you're right that was most people are thinking it's all a scheme to get the thing. I totally disagree. I think he loves her. I think he's nuts about her. I think she's crazy about him. I think it's a love story I think this is way more than her just being sweet and him being sweet. I think I think the extent to which this major football jock superstar does the little heart motion with his hands on the football field and blows her a kiss. My God. I mean, that made my heart sing. It made me wish I'd find a final love from my last years on the earth. I mean, honestly, I'm saying, oh my God, I'm so envious of that feeling that you're willing to do that in public for anybody and everybody, because that's the thing in your life right now. Anyway, that's what I feel. So I'm sorry, you talked. It's your turn now.
Well, no, and I'm really sorry. I don't want to take anything away from you. I think that proves my point. It's kind of a manufactured thing. They don't show Taylor Swift's face when the other team scores. They only show it when Kelce scores or Kansas City scores. I think she's gone through so many guys. This is not going to last. She's not going to be Taylor, Kelce. It'll be over soon. This is just to get more fans for the NFL. Okay.
Well, listen, I really appreciate it. I hope you're wrong, but I'm very glad you called in. Please call anytime. I love to talk about folks, whether I'm being an idiot or not, because I can't help it. I'm not changing. But thank you. Welcome
home, Kimmer.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Semper Fi. I appreciate that. First, I'm getting more people saying things like, well, you were in the Marines? I mean, it's amazing. For some reason, if I go to the store, or the kids at Publix, or the youngsters packing bags.
So if you're at the store, but you always talk about how when you go out in public, you kind of do your mean face.
I do.
So if a kid comes up and says, hey, cool jacket, I mean.
Yeah, I know.
He's also a walking billboard.
Leave me alone, you little bastard.
He's a walking billboard for the United States Marine Corps. Everything he owns has that stamped on it.
I want people to know. Well, I know why I do that. The same reason when I had my final house that I used to put back after 9/11. I used to put electric, not flames, electric candles in the windows of my estate in Brookhaven. And it was to say, if you're in trouble, I'm here.
Nobody knows that, though.
If someone does, then they would know that. And the other thing was, I have patches on my jacket, so if someone sees me walking around, they know, chances are, that that there are some things that are important to me. And the other thing is, I also do it because I want for example, if a woman is in trouble or she's someone's chasing her or whatever, and she sees a guy with a military type jacket and a Marine Corps hat and stuff like that, she probably knows she can come to me and I'll protect her, and I will. Okay. And I use that, and children too. It's like we used to tell our kids, find a cop, find anybody in a uniform. And chances are that they will help you if you have an emergency that you need help. Somebody in uniform is the person to go to first. And I do that as a sign that I'm here and I'm available. If there's a problem coming on, chances are you can ask me to help you. That's all. Sorry. Anyway, there you go.
All right.
Well, that's the truth.
Before I forget.
Yes.
I praised Whataburger 2 weeks ago.
Oh, let's talk about this. There's just opened up, and another one, I think, Flounder, didn't you say, right up the street or something?
Yes, one on Cobb Parkway.
Yeah. And so you went to it?
I went there today because I was going to bring
famous. Whataburger is a very famous
Texas.
The Texas chain.
Yeah, and I love the one in Woodstock, which I may have to stop by today. So I went by the one today around noon to get everybody one to bring it in here because you never had one.
Right, never had one.
Right. And I got there, and what a Mongolian nut cluster.
Really? Oh, my.
They got to work out that drive-through. You go to the Chick-fil-A, which is 2 doors down, and it's like bing, bang, you're in and you're out.
Yeah.
It's, even though it's a tight squeeze. There's a horrible places, by the way, to put restaurants, drive-through restaurants off Cobb Parkway right there.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of room to turn around. If you want to go to the Whataburger, you better come in off the Parkway, because if you go back behind it in that, which is I did, you go back in the parking lot where all the stores are, nobody's going to let you in.
Keystone Cop action.
And it looked like half the parking lot was closed. There's security guards standing around looking. I don't know what he was there for. And it was like a tight turnaround to get into the drive-through from the parking lot. And there was no real signage that really tell you what to do.
This is the new Whataburger.
The new Whataburger. So they need to work on get a little more Chick-fil-A like when it comes to moving people in and out.
Well, it's a very and the other
it's a great burger.
Yeah. Now the other famous one is In-N-Out Burger.
Right.
And in Oakland, California, and again, I hope to God that Newsom, the governor of California, whose wife was one of the sodomy sisters from the couch banger for Harvey Rapestein. Imagine having a first lady who was one of Harvey Rapestein's sodomy queens. Anyway, In-N-Out Burger in California is huge, and now the one in Oakland, after 75 years of the company being there, and after 18 years at the set location place in Oakland, they're shutting it down. Crime. Regular victimizing crime, break-ins, property damage, theft, armed robberies. In-N-Out sits in a square mile with several gas stations that cops say are the targets of a dozen violent crimes every day. There's a Shell station, which is known as the Chevron sites and the Shell sites are top contenders for the unwanted title of most dangerous gas station in America. There's crime there several times a day. The people, apparently the customers are hit by the crooks. They are very clear that they watch for targets, usually rental cars headed up from the airport. They pull in at one of the gas stations. Accomplices pull up in a vehicle. Targets start to pump fuel. They smash a rear window. They're actually guys at broad daylight to a woman in an SUV. A guy where she was pulled over at the gas station broke her rear window, climbed in the car, and stole all the stuff in her car, and then took off with his buddies in broad daylight. I mean, can you imagine being sitting in your car with your kids, and some guy breaks in the rear window and steals all your stuff, jumps in? I mean, my God. So In-N-Out Burger, which is, they said that's it. And nobody has a gun?
It's California. They'll arrest you for defending yourself.
Right. Nobody has a gun. That's unbelievable. Wow, I'm 5:45 coming up at Flounders Funny. Also, a quick couple updates. And Dana White on freedom of speech, and how he took it to a Canadian reporter because they don't have freedoms up in Canada anymore. And you'll hear the difference in that coming up with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder in just a minute, too. Look out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
The thing that irritated me over the weekend were the pro-Hamas supporters out in front of the White House. The protesting is old. I'm tired of it. Please, go somewhere else. I don't care anymore about people saying, you're not supposed to say that. Go to some other I'm telling you, go.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta is a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let all Four Seasons garage and entry doors be the ones to tell you yes.
It's obvious. The unthinkable continues. Most Americans know something very wrong is happening. People in charge keep telling you that everything's fine and to stop noticing. But you know better. That's why self-reliant folks are investing in emergency food storage. And you should too. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, are the ones you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Save $200 on each 3-month food kit you purchase. My Patriot Supply also sells solar generators, gravity-powered water filters, off-grid room heaters for when the power goes out, heirloom seeds, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship that same day and arrive quickly on your doorstep in unmarked boxes. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. Time is running out to prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
2024 Georgia Tech football season ticket memberships are now available. The 2024 season features marquee matchups against Miami and Notre Dame. Purchase your membership before December 1st and be entered into 30 days of giving featuring a new prize each day. Season ticket memberships come with benefits. Enjoy discounts on merchandise and concessions, convenient payment plans, special pre-sale opportunities, and more. Lock in your 2024 Georgia Tech football season ticket membership by visiting RamblinWreck.com. Sting 'em.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
Job seekers, stop the endless job hunt. The Blue Collar Recruiter is your key to the career you deserve. Are you a skilled worker seeking the right opportunity? Look no further. We connect you with employers who appreciate your dedication and expertise. Technicians, electricians, plumbers, welders, and more. We've got it all, and opportunities are just waiting for you. So skip the frustration and let us guide you to your next job. Call the Blue Collar Recruiter, 678-916-6145, or visit thebluecollarrecruiter.com.
I feel like I need a megaphone. Attention, small business owners. Hey, it's Tug. How nervous are you about the roller coaster ride that we're on? Recession, inflation, high interest rates, and the most recent of issues, the banking crisis. If it wasn't tough enough already to get a small business loan from the mega banks, now it's going to be virtually impossible. That's why you want to reach out to my friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. The Frost family, they can say yes when the big banks say no. And now they're saying yes more than ever before. And they don't just work in Georgia, they work in all 50 states. So whether you want to buy a franchise or build a new building and you need $250,000 or more in financing fast, go to FirstLibertyGA.com. Fill out the simple form and in minutes you'll know if you're a fit for their program. First Liberty Building and Loan have backed hundreds of Georgia businesses. They can be your secret weapon too. First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Peggy Sue. About Peggy. We talked about Buddy Holly a little while ago and the famous plane crash the day the music died. That was with Don McLean. And now we're playing Buddy Holly. Was on this day in 1969 alone with an acoustic guitar and a tape recorder in his New York City apartment. Buddy Holly made his last recordings, including Peggy Sue Got Married, Crying, Waiting, Hoping, That's What They Say, What to Do, Learning the Game, and That Makes It Tough. The recordings would be overdubbed posthumously and were later released by Coral Records. Buddy Holly, 1969, after the plane crash. Yes.
Can't get over the fact, the bad luck of American culture to lose in the same plane on the same day as Buddy Holly, Rocky Marciano, and Newt Rockney. What a tragedy.
Well, you didn't mention the Big Bopper or the Richie Valens.
First of all, anyone from the 1920s to 1960 who got on a small plane in the winter.
You're asking for
in
it.
the Midwest.
Yeah, it's going to be in a cornfield.
I mean, you're an idiot.
You're going to be bouncing off the frozen tundra. I'm sorry. Anyway,
how many people had to go down?
It was wrong. It was just wrong. I don't like little planes either. I've flown one.
They're fun.
Yeah, but I don't like them. I don't want to be in them ever again.
Well, the great thing about little ones, they glide. I don't understand why so many crash, because I think they panic. Because those suckers will glide.
Well,
find a place to put it down.
Yeah, I think there might be some.
Can't be that hard.
If the wing dips, chances are that it won't be gliding for
well,
too
we have
long.
roads.
Congratulations to Donald Trump and Melania Knauss. 19 years ago, 2005, Donald married his third wife. He was 58. She was 34. He's now 77, and she's 53. Also, on this day in 2008, Heath Ledger died of an accident. Boy, it was 2008? Holy cow.
Wow,
16 years ago? Wow. Heath Ledger died of an accidental prescription drug overdose. He was 28. After he played the Batman with
Joker.
The Joker, yeah.
That's
famous role.
One of the greatest acting performances ever.
Yeah, and scare. I remember looking at him with the cuts on his face. I just God, it was horrible. Anyway, let's see. On this day in 2000, both of Elian Gonzalez's grandmothers paid a private meeting in secret to U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno, appealing for her help in reuniting the little boy with his father back in Cuba. Elian Gonzalez's mother took him to America on the dangerous trip, and she drowned.
Yeah.
A lot of people drowned, including his mother. So then he's reunited with his relatives in Miami or in Florida, and Daddy wanted him back. So the Fed showed up at his relative's house, guns drawn.
Eric Holder.
That famous picture of that federal agent with a gun and aliens screaming. And they took him home and gave him back to a daddy.
That was one of the things I started hating Bill Clinton for, this whole thing. His mother died to get him to freedom, and he just catapulted that kid right back.
Yep. And it was an enormous thing 24 years ago. And one more thing. On this day in 1968, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, hosted by Dan Rowan and Dick Martin, premiered on NBC. Laugh-In, starting in 1968, launched the careers of Ruth Buzzy, Artie Johnson, Judy Carn, Goldie Hawn, Steve Martin, Rob Reiner, Henry Gibson, Bob Super Dave Osborne Einstein, Gary Owens, Lily Tomlin, and Joanne Worley. Laugh-In, 68. Wow. 5:55 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's see. Let's do a quick Dana White comment here. This is kind of funny. Dana White was being interviewed by a Canadian broadcaster or Canadian interviewer. Canada has no rights and no freedom. As you know, no First Amendment, anything else. So here's what happened when there was a wild tirade by a guy named Sean Strickland the other night talking about gay people. He was going freaked out. And so this reporter wanted to know whether Dana White was going to stop people from saying things like that as part of his UFC business. Here's how that went.
You obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with the UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm like...
Free speech. Control what people say. Going to tell people what to believe. Going to tell people... I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want, and they can believe whatever they want.
I want a question. He was giving a speech for his agenda.
Yeah.
And you got to confront them when they do that. Interrupt them.
Again, this was the Canadian take on the LGBTQ people, and now and this reporter was trying to make America more like Canada. I mean, that's how they think. I mean, they're indoctrinated to it. It's too late for them. We've lost a generation of Canadians. Have we got time for a Flounders Funny here? Let's 5:56 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
One thing I've never understood is like the foot fetish. Like, are you guys together right here? Yeah? How long you guys been together?
5 years.
5 years, wow. Do you ever suck on her feet? No? Would you if you had a different girlfriend?
You're about to have one different girlfriend.
Or are you like across the board, no feet? You don't really mind it, you just don't do it to her because you have mistresses. I get it. Because I'm across the board, no feet. I once went on a date with a girl where we went hiking. Her idea. And while we're hiking, she gets bit by a snake in between two toes. And I had to suck out the poison. So she's dead.
That's an old joke right there.
Yeah, you're going to die.
No, doctor says,
what the doctor said, he said you're going to die.
You're going to die. It wasn't his foot he got bit on.
Yeah, it wasn't his foot, no. I ain't going to suck out the poison. And by the way, for the record, I think everybody probably knows this. If someone gets bit by a snake, do not suck out the poison. Then you'll both get it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the best thing is, and don't try to cut it with a knife and bleed it out. Just stay as calm as possible, wrap it up, stay as calm as possible, and get the hell to help.
Keep the bite below the heart, they say.
Yeah. Whatever you do. But do not try to suck it out and do not cut it with a knife.
You're probably best. First of all, make sure you know what snake bit you. Copperhead, rattlesnake, moccasin. They need that for the antidote. Yeah. But the best thing, probably I heard, was that you call 911 and have the ambulance come to you. Yeah. That way you're not driving and moving around and doing stuff.
Keep calm. Yeah.
Keep calm.
Yeah, absolutely. 5:58. By the way, for the record, I Googled mean Joe Biden jokes today.
Yes.
You can't find Joe Biden jokes. If you look for mean Joe Biden jokes, they're all about Joe Biden jokes that Joe Biden told about Republicans. This is how social. I mean, here's some. My name is Joe Biden, and I forgot this message. How do you know Joe Biden's a liberal? He's always talking about his one black friend. Mm-hmm. But there's four. That's it.
There's a 3-minute commercial on Peacock that shows Saturday Night Live channel over and over and over, all the skits and everything, making fun of Trump. Guess who they didn't make fun of in the commercial?
Right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You can't even Google things about it's just astounding.
Voltaire said, you want to know who your master is? Yeah. It's who you cannot criticize.
I try to find out who it is, yeah. Wow. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, God bless America. Well, I got to go. You're killing me. Look out. We do it again tomorrow. Election day in New Hampshire. Semper Fi.
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3 FM.
DeSantis bows out. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. New Hampshire primary voters have a decision after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspended his campaign. It's down to Nikki Haley versus Donald Trump. What's a DeSantis supporter to do? Fox's Brian Yennis takes a look at that question from Manchester.
Governor Ron DeSantis was set to have a 5 p.m. meet and greet in Manchester, New Hampshire yesterday before he released that video announcing he was dropping out of the race, endorsing the former president, but he also took one last parting shot at Trump.
Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear.
Last night, former Governor Nikki Haley had her largest rally yet in New Hampshire, some 1,200 people, as TV's Judge Judy endorsed her. Haley has sharpened her attacks against Trump, saying at 77 years old, he's simply too old for the presidency.
University of New Hampshire polling shows 62% of DeSantis supporters pick Trump as their go-to choice. Pollsters say that could put Trump over 60%. Candidate Nikki Haley this morning on Fox and Friends.
I know the political class wants to say that this race is over. And I know the political class is saying everybody needs to get behind Trump. This is not